right? And let me give y'all this, right? Long distance relationships ain't real.
Not at all. Not at all.
Get that out your head. It's not real. It's not real. Y'all
No,
might y'all might travel back and forth to each other's city and hit each other, right? But it's
But it
not
ain't real.
right? If you not within a time frame where you can reach your partner within a reasonable time frame, that is not a real relationship. She
Not
hitting
at all.
something and she letting somebody hit and he hitting something else in his hometown. Y'all need to stop this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
It's twin. What up, prototype?
What's
going
happening?
on?
You know, I see my uncles up here. I just wanted to holler at them. You know what I'm saying? See my favorite uncles up here. You know?
Go get you straight. What's going on with you, bro?
Man, you know, just living the dream, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. I definitely I don't care anything about how much you think you feel close to me. You're not getting no access to nothing. Nathan. This is the craziest part. Like, especially if you date me, you got to shit. My daughter's got all my access. If something happened to me, that's only if something happens to me. That's what that comes. You know how close you got to be to me for me to sit there and give. You know the stuff you got to put in to have that type of access. You don't even have access to me to talk to me every day. Okay. You talk about you can't talk to me every day, and I'm ignoring a lot of your texts. So hold on, you got a lot of work to do. Access to my phone, and no, I ain't gonna give you. Have you ever given anybody access to your wallet? Women, have you ever given a man access to your purse? That's crazy. Yeah. I can just go in there anytime I want to.
Women do that.
No, they'll tell you to go in there and get something.
No, but that's give you everything in her account.
What women?
I know plenty.
Wives. Ain't no woman. And if she giving you everything in her account, that's because she only had $300 in that mug and she owed you anyway.
No, man. No, man. I know women that'll give you your life. You know what I'm saying? They'll give you their soul. They give you their soul for sure.
No, listen, there are women out there that have it, but bro, after a week, no. Hell no.
After a week. I'm saying, but a woman will give you her soul.
But it's work that you have to put in. That's my only point. You got to put some work in there. You don't just get this because you feel that you're entitled to it. You get it because you've shown a lot of things throughout this journey we call life. And then that's where it gets to the point where we start trusting each other and we start, trading in and doing these type of things. Yes, those women do exist. Absolutely. But not no Cheyenne Bryant type women. Crazy. You don't get access to me at all.
I'm not saying she get access to you. I mean, but a lot of women do be having like access to like their man's location and stuff. I was just on a pod, I think with HD, and he was talking about how he gives his wife access to his location or whatever. And I'm like,
it does work. It does. So that's what I want to talk about that part because it does exist because I've seen dudes do it. That's why I keep, and I swear to God, I'm going to keep it until they just get rid of it, a damn Android.
Right, but that's
I love an Android.
But
that's why I say I keep one. You ain't about to get no.
You can track any phone. You can track any phone.
Yeah, I mean they got air tags and all kind of other shit.
Oh, I'm telling you.
But look though, he also
working IT too. He'll tell you can track any phone if you want to. Now.
Yeah,
right.
You said,
that's true. That's true.
You said his wife. You didn't say like
right. Exactly.
We were talking about. We were talking when she said the video. When she said in the video, she said after like 7 days and she starts knowing a certain type of way. She's like when we get to that point, I want access.
Yeah.
So you're saying. So the brothers on the panel are saying you're not getting that type of access until we're married and you're my wife.
She moved the goal.
Right.
Champ, my bad, bro. That's why I'm saying she's lying, bro. She moved the goalpost once he initiated the stimulus in the question, right? She said you can play the video, right? I keep trying to tell y'all listening is a skill, right? She said, I had met this dude, I had a conversation with him. And when I felt like I was ready to give him some more me, when I say more me, I'm not talking about my money. I'm talking about my time, my attention, and my emotions.
Yeah, that's it. That's all she's talking about.
And then when he was like 7 days, that's when she moved the goalpost, right? So when we talking about in the actual event, I'm taking her at her word, right? That she said that's what she presented to him at that moment, because that's what she needed, right? For her to feel that she even needed to give him access to any more of her emotion or personal thought.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to catch Proto up because he had said something about somebody saying their wife. That he had gave his wife has his location. I was just saying, yeah, you're saying exactly what the brothers on the panel are saying, because you mentioned wife. You like, so it wouldn't have been after if she said 7 days, cool, like, but it wouldn't have been after no damn 7 days, or it wouldn't have been after a month. You know what I'm saying? But if
it could be after a month. I'm not saying 7 days, bro, and I'm not even saying wife. Like, don't take it out of context. Don't be so, you know what I'm saying? But like boyfriend and girlfriends or people after a month that do exchange location, I think it's kind of strange. You know what I'm saying? But they was arguing me down on it. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm not doing that. And I've been married 11 years.
But I would do it today because I don't trust none of you little ugly crack-over babies. Y'all wild as hell out there. So, but I look for safety reasons. Like my wife wants me to track her, and I let her track me because I've already had my turn in this pissy pool I got out here, young guys and young women. So I'm totally cool with that because like our pain, she's trusted me so much that she's giving me full access to everything about her. And as my wife, she's going to have full access to my stuff.
Wait, so before she was your wife, did you have full access to her like that?
No, I didn't require because
regardless if you required it or not, because you had it before.
Yes, before I got married, she told me
that's
everything.
What I was saying. Before she was your wife, she still would have gave you everything. You probably only married her because she would give you everything.
Yes, but at the same time, what she said in reference to her is she's making these demands and she's not moving forward until you give her
the access. Right. She's not giving you more of her until you give her the access that she wants.
Right. She did say she doesn't require the password and things of that nature after a week. She did say that. We'll give that to her. However, to have this conversation after a week to me is crazy, because this is how I look at it as a woman. I look at what a man freely gives, because a man is going to freely give what he wants to give. Okay. He may take a request here or there, but he's going to give what he freely gives. That's what he's going to do. What he just naturally do, that's just what he's going to do. So I'm not coming after a week like, oh, I'm gonna need access to this and I'm gonna need access to that. I don't even know you to know enough to know if I still want to talk to you next week or the week after, or if you want to talk to me after a week or the week after, right? We don't even know each other enough to ask for these things. There's nothing wrong with having boundaries and standards and things like that. But to come into a new situation, if you want to call it a new experience with someone, and after a week have this conversation, to me is just a little controlling. It shows signs of you trying to control someone, because we're going to talk about the access that someone gave her and what she did with that access, but we're going to
let me say this on the behind. Listen, no matter what she says from here on out, she's a woman who wants the man that she wants on her terms. The truth of the matter is, the man that she wants will never give you himself on your terms. I tell women that all the time.
Exactly. The man you want don't move the way you want.
That's right. The man you want is not going to, because that automatically he's never going to give you access to him on your terms because you want him. By definition, it's no way I'm gonna give you access. You want me, chick? If I want to marry you, it's going to be on my terms. And I'm a nobody. My wife married me on my terms. She could have said no. But I know what I was going to give up to ask her to marry me, and I was just a nobody. You're gonna marry me? This is my terms. Yeah, you want to be in part of this? Here's the pieces of the puzzle that I have missing, and I'm saying you're the piece that I want to put in this spot. And she said yes.
Imagine.
But if she didn't want to play that part, we wouldn't be married.
Imagine doing it though, R-Pain. Imagine giving her all that access, and then she don't even it don't even work out. It not even that it don't even work out, but that she don't even continue ahead and give you the access that you thought that you was gonna give her. You know what I'm saying? That she said that she said that you could possibly get basically if you give her the access that she actually wants. So you don't actually get that access. There's a chance that you can get it. You might be able to get it. There's no guarantee you're gonna get that access to her, but you have to guarantee, give her the access that she wants before it's even an option on the table that she gives you the access that she wants. That's the crazy part.
And you need to sit in those feelings of being a sucker until you learn to be otherwise. That's what make you grow. Like you ever somebody ever take advantage of you and you have to sit in that feeling of the loss. That will make it. It makes you never go through it again.
That's how I go.
That's how you learn.
Take them L's, bro. Take them L's sometimes, man.
Miranda says, okay, so if that question's out of bounds, wouldn't it be the same to ask if they want marriage? No, I don't think it would be the same, because asking someone if they want marriage just, makes you know if you're going to go down that lane with them if they want marriage or not. That kind of gives you a sense of direction when you ask that question. And again, like I said, access is the byproduct of marriage, but it's not a prerequisite of you dating someone. Mm-hmm. Even when you're dating someone, it doesn't give you're not entitled to access to everything that they have. You're just not.
Yeah, the dynamics are totally different.
Yeah, and vice versa, and so that's why, when she talks about giving access and she's like, not to my body, to my mind and my time and all that other stuff that she was saying, because she thinks that if she gives him access to her body, then she's not going to get the access that she wants. But again, access is a byproduct of marriage, just like you.
How dare she? How dare she?
Yeah, she's lying about that too.
How dare she? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Trying to put you in a box so when you do go, let me see your phone. Bitch, who you
talking to? Right. And we know how vindictive and just overall crazy women can be when they have an ounce of access to you. Okay. We know how they can turn it around. We know how they can ruin your life. We know what that looks like when women even have a little bit of access to you. So to give them access to your privacy, to me, is crazy.
And I hate changing my password at work, let alone my own.
Okay.
Shit. You know what I'm saying? You crazy. Chick.
You change your password. Come on.
Please.
Bryant.
Why they dress you like
asking that for?
I think it's the aesthetic. They probably was like, "Where's some purple and paint, girl?"
Both of them. My bad.
Week one.
No. I'm not saying week one, give me your password. Okay. I'm saying that when we move into that space, because now I'm feeling like I want to spend more time with you. I want to invest equity into this relationship.
Yes.
Equity for me in week one is time, conversation on the phone. And yes, you can fly me to come see you.
Yes.
That's equity for me.
That's fine.
Okay. But when we get to the space of now, this environment has become safe and my body is now feeling moved to want to be intimate with you.
Yes.
Or my heart is feeling moved to want to be committed to you. When we get there, I know that I'm going to ask for access. So I'm not going to set myself up to get there, ask for it, and then this is not what you're in alignment with, because the longer I stay, the more expensive it is for me to pull out. So,
yes, but does that not bring to bear a presumption of guilt or absence of trust that at the door, I need a passcode?
With that,
but if I am giving you no red flags, no flashing lights, the phone ain't vibrating.
Yeah, I love this. No, I love
so
this
why
question.
do you come straight into the door like, hey, I got to trust come behind you? Am I carrying what happened with the last
I love this
situation?
No, because both of my fiancés, knock on wood,
yes,
was no infidelity that I know of.
Okay.
And I had access to phone, computer, Instagram, Facebook, bank account, and we lived together. So I obviously had access to our home. And I would navigate the phone. They would navigate mine. And we never, ever had a conversation about another woman or a man that had to create division between our relationship. I never left for that. So I'm not bringing in a per se redo to this new dating space. What I'm doing is saying, I'm not wanting your passcode so I can access your phone so I can see that you're cheating. I don't want to be broken, Pastor Bryant. I don't want to be dismantled.
Yeah.
I don't want to be hurt. For me, that's a reassurance. And as the Bible says, love your partner by knowledge of them, well, I'm giving you knowledge of me. So if that works for you, then align with me. If it doesn't, let's pivot now. And there's no hard feelings.
All right. Uncle Rick, I saw the reaction.
What I did, she's a self-sabotager. I got you. How did it work out for you?
Did you hear what I said?
Beyonce queens. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Twice. And she said infidelity wasn't an issue. She had access to everything.
But look, right? So like I told y'all earlier, right? Perception shapes everything, right? So if you was in two long-term, meaningful relationships that were so great that you was able to use them as an example of why your relationships work, and you've been proven twice, right, that them giving your information and there was no infidelity. So why are you still asking for it? You've had two examples that men that were with you, at least that your choices made, at least in that category, right? That they don't cheat and they talking to other women. So why is it still required?
Right.
Because somebody lying.
Did you hear what I said?
Because somebody lying. She's a liar. 2 fiancés. 2. And now you dating women. Can somebody make this make sense for me, or am I pulling it out my ass tonight?
Oh, like what you breaking up for? Like, I don't see no plausible reason to break up with somebody.
But he's a fruit, so he gonna play into her emotions and shit. So he,
but as far as she's telling the story, she don't got no real reason to even break up with her 2-3 fiancés that she so-called had. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like she's more so scared of herself, that she's going to have to uphold a standard that she put up a standard for them, and she at the same time, and she can't maintain that standard. Because if he was to maintain the standard, then she would have to be maintained. You know what I mean? So she can't do it. So she sabotages herself. She sabotages the relationship because she can't be a good wife. She know it.
Hey, there you go, my boy. Right? Most women, if they got the man they say they wanted, wouldn't know what to do with him.
Wouldn't even know. She don't know what to do with him. She couldn't be a good wife if she wanted to. That's what I hear.
That's crazy. It's hella crazy to me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, go and let her finish telling these lies she about to tell.
Yeah, that's hella crazy to require some shit that never happened to you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's hella crazy, because most of the time when people require those type of things is because maybe like something in their past, like something happened. But to say like, oh, I never was cheated on, nobody ever gave me a reason to want these things, but I just, it just gives me reassurance that you're not doing these things. You know what I'm saying? So who cheated on you to make you need the reassurance is my question, because somebody had to cheat. Somebody phone had to be blowing up at 12 o'clock at night while you was laying next to him, because you was really the side piece. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit really had to happen. It's just no way you start just finding these like off the wall requirements. And I'm not saying it's off the wall, but it is off the wall when shit never happened to you. Like, then you just throwing shit up in the air like, okay, well now you got to do this. All right, yeah, I need your bank account information. I need to know, like that. No, motherfucker, like, like that's crazy as hell.
So what I was going to say, I don't know if this is going to happen, Precious, when you continue this thing, but if this guy doesn't ask her, why did those two relationships fail, then this whole interview is a fraud. That's the only thing. Now that she said that shit, the only thing I want to know is how come those two goddamn relationships didn't work. Everything was great. You just told us everything was great, and you lost 2 engagements. I want to know what happened. Because everything she says after that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
She chose what she chose. She wanted the sister. She wanted the cheeks, the lick. That's what she wanted.
The craziest part is that you're gonna get a lot of questions from me once you tell me and you reveal to me that I've been hurt like this before and I don't want to be hurt again. Oh, we got a problem. What they call it, I don't like to use the word, but they call it red flags. You got unresolved issues and you're still in that same relationship that you was in. I don't want to deal with you and that nigga. I don't want to have to deal with the shit that you have unresolved. Don't have me to have to pay for the last relationship, the last 2 relationships. First and foremost, you kind of disqualifying yourself with me by calling yourself an ex-fiance. That ain't real. Ain't nothing real about that. Wife. That's what it is. Fiance don't mean nothing. That was a promise to pay. That's all that was. You tripping. Yeah. You got, so this is the thing, and I got to say this, Rick. What a lot of women end up failing at with relationships with guys that are kind of like set is because once we start asking questions and you start being tight-mouthed about it, you kind of disqualifying yourself.
Yes, sir.
I was on the panel earlier today. I'm like, man, listen, the problem with a lot of you fellas, and we were talking to men, y'all don't know how to say no. Y'all don't know how to disqualify someone. I'm not going to be sitting there looking at all these indicators and what they call red flags and don't do anything or say anything about them. No, this is right now, it's telling me that I got to take action, especially when it's in the beginning of the relationship. You kind of disqualify yourself when you are leading with the past hurt from your last relationship. Quit calling yourself an ex-fiance. That don't sound right. That don't sound good at all. I was in a last relationship, and once we get to talking about it, this is the greatest thing about with men. We are inquisitive, but we only want to know certain things so we would know how to navigate or to take action. I don't want to know anything about, because once you start telling me, and I'm still seeing that you got feelings for, whether he wasn't shit and he abused me, and I was in a relationship with a man that for 6 years we was in a relationship, and the only thing I had to deal with is abuse from him. You just disqualified yourself with me, really. To tell you the truth, it's done. You kind of hurt yourself on that one when you're talking to me. Most guys, they'll still keep going.
I'm gonna do you one better. Once you told me your daddy wasn't shit,
yeah, it's over.
That set the bar for me.
Hey,
it's over. It's over.
Hey, JT, I've been proposed to 4 times.
That's crazy.
That right there, bro. The one thing the first thing that come to my mind is, so you got all the way to that point with this man. Like, you knew, because if a man gonna get down on the knee and propose to you and shit, y'all talked about this. Yeah, at some point in time, y'all talked about marriage. Yeah. Like, y'all talked about a future with each other, right? Like, so I mean, does any man just automatically just propose and y'all never had one marriage conversation, no type of marriage conversation at all, and then you get to that point and then you turn them down, but you knew that you didn't want that shit from the jump?
Word.
She was engaged, according to her words, she was engaged to one guy for 10 years.
That's crazy. So automatically that tells me I can string you along.
Access denied.
You're a string along.
Yeah, you a string along, right?
She said that she kept putting the wedding off because she kept going back to schools and getting all these degrees, and she just knew that this guy wasn't the guy she wanted to be with for life. But I mean, if a man want to marry you, he gonna marry you.
Look, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
With your school and what degrees you get in and things of that nature. So,
facts. That's exactly what I was saying. So he wanted to, and she knew that she didn't, but she still let it get there multiple times. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part to me.
Yeah, she's a serial fiance.
Well, she was monkey branching that whole time. She was looking for somebody else that whole time.
Yeah, she was, man.
You know, so she didn't care. You know, I got this fallback position because he's safe. A lot of women do that, by the way. She said, I'll stay with you. You know why? Because it's dangerous out there. So every so often, if I get the itch, I go back to the safe guy. Let him bang me out. Then I go back out into the wild. A lot of women do that. You know, a lot of women with baby mamas, they do that. A lot of them do that.
That's the Jenny complex.
Especially they don't want to, go out there in the dating world. You know what? I got a baby by this asshole. So every so often I'll let him come over and hit it, so I don't have to worry about that. Get that off my chest, and then they'll go back out there and do their thing. So it's less danger because I know where this guy's coming from, so I know how to protect myself.
That's the Jenny complex. She's treating you like Forrest Gump. That's Janae. She's treating you like you Forrest Gump.
What do you do? Is he behind? Is he like me?
Hey, for a long time, my bad. Before we move on, Prince, my bad. Hey, for a long time, I didn't know what he meant. But he said, "Man, at night, my mama used to sleep coons off the porch." I didn't know what the hell they meant at first. I was a little kid when that shit came out. Mama used to sleep the coons off the porch.
He was like, "Hey, my favorite part. You know, my favorite part of Forrest Gump is." He was like, "Your mama really cares about your schooling, boy." Where's Daddy at? He's on vacation.
It's fun watching movies back that came out when we were younger and actually, getting the idea of what they were actually talking about.
Yeah,
that was a great
absolutely.
Movie.
Absolutely.
Even I was never a cartoon person. I never was the one like, Saturday morning cartoons. But even those, they have a lot of hidden messages with them.
Yeah, it's because I didn't get outside much.
The Flintstones was the one. That was Fred and Barney.
You don't understand them things. We done been through some things.
So the phone code is a breaker.
Oh, is it a non-negotiable?
Yes.
It is the passcode. Access. Let me say it because I'm single and I'm in my choosing phase.
Yes.
And I'm choosing
and I've
my
given
husband.
You no reason.
There's not a reason. It's called transparency. I operate from a place of transparency, not honesty. Honesty means I have to ask you questions. I don't want a relationship with you when I have to drill you like an investigator. When you're talking about trust, an investigator has to ask you 500 questions to figure out what their clarity is that they're seeking. That's not the relationship I seek. I seek transparency. Transparency is, baby, I have a flight at 10 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
When I land, I have a meeting. And X, Y, and Z will be there. And I happen to still do business with the guy I used to date before you because he's in on this deal. He'll be there too. That's transparency. So you ain't have to act.
Wait, what did she say?
Yeah, she said it.
This word salad is something different.
Did she say a guy?
They used to bang her out. It's gonna be there. Getting some of that money. He gonna get some of that money. So I'll be home a little late.
He will. Hold on, because I don't know. Hold on.
Breaker.
Oh, is it a non-negotiable?
Yes.
It is the passcode. Access. Let me say it because I'm single and I'm in my choosing phase.
Yes.
And I'm choosing
and I've
my
given
husband.
You no reason.
There's not a reason. It's called transparency. I operate from a place of transparency, not honesty. Honesty means I have to ask you questions. I don't want a relationship with you when I have to drill you like an investigator. When you're talking about trust, an investigator has to ask you 500 questions to figure out what their clarity is that they're seeking. That's not the relationship I seek. I seek transparency. Transparency is, baby, I have a flight at 10 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
When I land, I have a meeting. And X, Y, and Z will be there. And I happen to still do business with the guy I used to date before you because he's in on this deal. He'll be there too. That's transparency. So you ain't have to ask me anything.
Yes.
For me, transparency is also, we are transparencing together. You have access to my body, don't you? If we get to that space, you have access to my heart, to my mind, right? To me, my heart, my mind, my body is more valuable than that punk ass phone. So for me, if all I'm asking for is access to something that you have nothing to hide, that I'm not saying I want it to pick up and go through, because if I want to pick it up and go through it, Pastor Brian, guess what? I ain't got to ask for the password, because you know everybody can find that out. That's easy work. To find out a women find out passwords all day long. Let's keep it real.
Listen.
Do they not? Do they not? Do they not?
Yes.
Okay, so wait a minute. So is it not better to have a woman that says to you, baby, I'm asking for access because I never want to really, I'm not trying to pry into your privacy and sneak into your phone. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. Let me disclaimer, I'm not going to do that. So all I'm saying is I want access to it, because being that I have access to it means that you've given me permission and authority.
Right, but if
hold on.
Yes.
And giving me permission and authority is the love language. Stick with me. It's the principle. It's not the password. It's the fact that you said, baby, here goes a key to my house, so when I'm out of town, you can leave when you want to. That doesn't mean I want to go run through your drawers and see what's in there. That means you're giving me access and authority to your home. That's a principle that opens up a space for me. That's called a love language. I am not going to be in a bed with a man who can access my body. That is priceless, and I can't access a $89.99 or $499.99 Samsung or iPhone because you think that's a breach of your privacy. You keep your $500 phone over there, and I'll keep my priceless mind, body, and soul over here. I have yet to have an issue with being in a relationship with a man, and I have been engaged multiple times.
Yes.
And I have in these 6 years said no to multiple rings because I refuse to get engaged again without going through with it.
Yes.
I have yet to have an issue with the man who's not a womanizer, who wouldn't say passwords. I don't care about that. Okay, so what? And this is the thing. If you need to do what you do, womanizer, and you want to keep a woman of my caliber and you think you just that smart to do it, run the password, get another phone, and do it your way. But I'm not going to make it easy for you.
Yes.
If you want her that bad, get a phone for her and keep that shit over there.
I'm with you on the 50 y'all.
Mind you, this is a pastor she's talking to, and now she's getting there. Now there is no level of respect, right? I would never. Me and my pastor talking. Now I'm not gonna be like, and keep that shit over there, like.
Right, that shit crazy. That's wild.
But that's your character, Precious. This ain't this woman's character. Everything she's doing is cap.
No, but what Precious is saying is that man doesn't have the authority. She does not even respect. No, listen what I'm saying. She doesn't respect him enough to at least, if she slip and say shit or something like that, she'll say,
"I'm sorry,
my bad." Stuff. You know what I'm saying? She ain't even got the wherewithal to sit back and say, let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me gather myself.
My goodness gracious.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So how can you take
what kind of passes Bryant anyway? Though?
Exactly.
Right. So it's a two-way street on that whole thing. But let's get to this word salad that she's saying with that mind, body, and soul. The thing is, man, and I can tell you this, I ain't never met this man in person, but I can tell you right now, women have gotten so mad at this man because he won't let them go that far. That's my man, Uncle Rick. Guaranteed. She get to talking that dumbass shit, he gonna be like, nah, see.
You lying.
Hey, you're lying.
You fucking lying. You're lying.
Y'all lying.
You're lying. I know he do. I know it. I met this dude before. I ain't talking about him per se. I met cats like him. And I understand why because I can say this. She may have met some really, really good guys. She may have met some really, really good guys. And it was some dudes that was not letting her go through all it. The reason why she's talking the way that she's talking right now is because she's on a platform and she's out here just saying. But when she's talking and then she's in a relationship and she's active in a relationship, that shit don't go that way. Not with no real men. Hey, man, we be like, man, if you don't take your goofy ass on somewhere, please get the hell on. Leave me alone.
It never goes anywhere with her, and it never will because she's a man.
She's
right?
Yes.
I'm sure when it comes out, when they finally break up, she probably like, well, my dildo bigger than your dick. My strap on bigger than your dick. Right? She wants to control. I mean, all women want to control the goddamn relationship. We all know that, right? But she make it so upfront that she's not even covert about it, right? Dude get turned off by that shit. You ain't gonna even lie to me, bitch. You see what I'm saying? You ain't gonna fake it. Like this, like, no, she's a dude. These people, these perverts, man, I don't care what y'all say, man. I got 50 years on y'all, man. I'm telling y'all.
Trying to tell you.
These people, man, they don't think straight. It's the reason why they are what they are. I keep trying to tell y'all, man. Most of these people have a skewed look on reality because, like I said, their intent mentally is to go against the nature of things. Look at her. She talks like a man. She talks like a goddamn man.
Yeah.
So when a man get in there, then listen, she cute. Let's say what.
Yeah, absolutely.
She got a nice body, right? Dude's trying to hit, right? Hey, maybe she ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, and like JT said, right? The talk ain't really like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's her mentality, though, right? So her mentality is going to control her actions towards that man when she's in a relationship. She can try to fake the funk as much as she wants, right? But that shit's going to come out. And again, when she comes out and she tries to be the boss bitch and the man, dudes be like, especially if they decent dudes, like she say, because they at least tried to make you an honest woman with your stupid ass.
Yeah.
Right? Right? Yep. They tried to make an honest woman out of you, and then you pull your dick out, they go on over there and jack yourself off, bitch.
The thing that hurt her, though, Rick, is not somebody calling her out her name and shit like that. This is the thing, and it hurts a lot of these women now when a man can say these words. Lady, please leave me alone.
Yeah.
When a man tell you that you're pestering him, it hurts. It hurts worse than a man calling you. When a man don't want to play your reindeer games, and he like, ma'am, will you please stay away from me? I don't ever want to see you again. Do you know how much that hurt these women now? This is why they sit back and say they hurt. She ain't got hurt because some man was abusing her, putting his hands on her, calling her out her name. She was hurt because she found out that he don't want to deal with her no more. He like, my bad. I'm sorry that I even wasted me and your time.
My fault.
It's my fault.
It's not you, it's me.
It's not you, it's me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna apologize to you. And then she get the he be like, ma'am, just leave me alone. I don't want nothing. Here. It makes it even worse if a man pay her. He like, look, I'm gonna give you these $200 so you can stay the hell out of my life. Just go. What else you want? You want the PlayStation 5? What you want? I just want you gone. Like, take everything. Take it all. It hurts them. That's what hurts them. The rejection is what hurts them. It ain't the dude that's going out here putting his hands on her. None of that. It's the guys that's sitting back saying, I love me way more than I hate you. So what I want to do is just have some peace. Just leave me alone. Please? The please part is what really hurt him. I'm begging you.
Go
on now.
Hey, JT, though. Hey, JT, bro, something you said. something you said goes to this shit too, JT. You said it goes along with what you said, bro, on BMU, right? You said, I don't want to listen to people who opted out. Yeah. If you turn down men in these multiple relationships, multiple men, and you opted out on this side of the fence, and now you want to be on that side of the fence, where even women on side of the fence are jumping off that side of the fence, I don't want to listen to you. Like, this is real rap. I can't take. Why? You gonna tell me about heterosexual relationships when you done opted out of it? And not only did you opt out of it, once you jumped over there, you ain't found nothing over there that has held you down and cemented you, gave you access to their phone and all that shit, and you still ain't moved forward with more access to them. Like, not only that, and then you see the studs. The studs are starting to come back. They like, yo, I'm tired of these. They like, I'm tired of these hoes.
That's wild. Chill out.
That's wild. That is wild. When you got women saying, hey man, listen, I'm about to take these baggy pants off. I'm sorry, fellas. Because these women is crazy.
What Ruben Sutter said, I'm sorry for 2004. all the studs, I'm sorry for 2025. They all coming back to this side. They said, I'm tired of paying all the bills. I'm tired of having to be the man. I want to be in my feminine energy. She pulled up her pants and put on
hey, with their hat backwards, they like, I'm taking all this off.
Right.
I'm taking it all off.
These studs in their soft era now. They're in their soft era.
They're in their soft era now.
You know the funny thing about studs. You ever know a stud that y'all grew up with that used to like you, and then you get around them as an adult, and they go back to acting like a girl around you?
Yes.
Yep.
That's the funniest thing. Like, girls, I went home one time. Y'all know I don't live where I'm from, so I went home one time, and I was like, "Wait, you like this?" But she was completely batting her ass, straight feminine,
bruh.
Like we was back in like 2003.
Yeah.
she in her whole stud suit though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Her girlfriend, what made it so bad, her girlfriend was sitting right next to her. And she was like, well, who is that? And she's like, oh, I used to, like, back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was so wild to me. Like, you just turned straight feminine.
Yeah, Proto, the crazy part about it though, every post, hey, you know you coming home to daddy. What? Yeah. And you was just batting your eyes at me when I see you. Come on.
Listen, I know y'all seen that shit with the barber and the cute stud.
That's a funny thing.
Bro, this was probably about 10 years ago. My cousin had a friend. My cousin was trying to be in that stud shit too, and she had a friend. This girl was beautiful. I'm like, listen, listen, you don't want to come back over here? Dog, she did exactly what you just said, Prototype. She got the batting them eyes and smiling. Go ahead on, bro. Go ahead on. Then she was just like, I was like, you sure you don't want this? This is... Hey, she could not stop. Boy, you crazy. She turned into a straight female. She was right back to being a female all over again. I'm like, well, you know you can't be because I used to joke with my cousin, all of them. I'd be like, you can't be a man. Your feet too small. What, when you ball your fists up, look how little your fist is. You a woman. Come on. Just come back over here.
Baby shoes on.
Yeah. You got baby. Right, you still getting
baby shoes on.
Them Jordans is $39, baby. Them Jordans that you got, them ones, those are $39. Because you ain't even wearing a 6 yet. You got a 5.5.
What a push it down.
Right. Get the hell out of here.
I think that's cool.
In the 9 years that before I got with my wife, I mean, I had a lot of these experiences you guys are talking about. When I used to work in Buffalo, there was this chick who was the flower, right? She was the flower in the relationship. And she had a stud. The dude was like, you know, the ladies all studded up, but the flower used to drive me home. And she liked me. She was cute. And she kind of liked me. And I'm saying, should I try to convert her? I think I could take her stud. You know, I think if I had to.
You take a stud? I can take her stud.
But she was cool. She came over to the crib a couple of times. I said, man,
I just for one, I never understood a stud or women who want to look like men, but they're women. I always thought that studs reverted to being studs because maybe they weren't pretty enough women. And so it's like, all right, let's look like a stud because I know how to, or I feel more comfortable in men's clothing or boys' clothing than I do in women's clothing. And so they didn't have that femininity about them. I think that some studs are studs because maybe they had a bad sexual encounter with men, whether it was voluntary or involuntarily. I feel like that's why some women, become studs. And they just don't want to deal with penis no more, for whatever reason, right? And then I think that some women are studs because they have this mental complex of she gets this attention from men. Let me show the men that I can get this attention from her. Like it's a competition of the sexes with the women, right? Like, oh, I know that, so and so like her, but I like her too. So I'm going to do whatever because women know what women like. Like you might look like a dude at the end of the day, but women know what's going to get the attention of a woman faster than a man does. Not saying that y'all don't, but y'all might have to do y'all research. You want to ask her a million questions. You're gonna have to like try and get to know her. Whereas women know the nature of other women, so it's not gonna be that hard for her to try to impress a woman. But studs to me, I just never understood. It's like if you're gonna like a woman, like why not still just be your woman? Like, you know what I mean? I don't understand. And then the whole strap-on situation. It's like
that whole pretending shit. Yeah, that's
like that to me, like I can't do toys. The strap-ons, like all that stuff to me is just like, what are you doing? Why do you have it? Why are you spending your money on it? Like to me, that's just crazy.
Yeah, well. But by the way, back in my day, we didn't call them studs.
What'd you call them?
Bulldaggers.
Bulldoggle.
Straight dykes. Yes, sir.
Dykes are bulldaggers.
Yeah. No stud.
Yeah, that she's a bulldoggle.
Yeah. And they didn't show up in men's spaces.
No, they didn't.
So they did.
Yeah.
Shout out to them, though. Shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
No, shout out to them.
On the 50-yard line, where I'm throwing a flag on the field.
I'm listening.
Is that nobody would be giving you a key to the house the first week. And you asked this in the first 7 days. Yeah. So in the first 7 days.
Clear it up, Pastor Bryant. Clear it up. I didn't ask for the password in 7 days. Yes. I asked that when we get to this crossroad of commitment. And
I understood.
Yes, of commitment.
Yes.
Part of committing to me, just like there's commitment standards for you and other men, is access. Because when you commit to me, I'm giving you access to me. And if you can't honor and respect access to me, being a part of me, accessing everything that comes with you, then we don't have a commitment. And we are not operating from a space of what works for us collectively. Now we're operating from a space of what works for you. And there's a two-party relationship here.
I'm almost there. I want to be there.
Are you at 70 yet?
I want to be there.
70 yards on yet?
We're at the speed limit. It's a bump in the road. My question is,
let me ask you this. Does your wife have your password?
Yes.
So what are we talking about here?
Yeah, my wife.
So what are we talking about here?
She didn't have it that first week now.
But did she have it? Did she have it before she was your before she was your wife?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're in the end zone.
Yes.
Now we're in the end zone.
Yes, for a wife,
drove it
sure.
The problem is that she ain't never made it to the end zone. She get right to the 10-yard line and she fumbles the bag.
It has to make you wonder at this point, what exactly do you want this information for? Because if you've had that information and you still didn't go all the way with these men, what man at this point is going to give you his time, his treasure, all of that? Because wherever a man's treasure is, there's his heart as well, right? So why would he do that at this point? And you ain't really doing nothing with it. What did you do with it when you had it?
Exactly. It goes back to she's lying.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
every man, but Precious, every single man that she just talked to knows that she gave up that box for a couple of chicken dinners at some point. Now she wants me to give her access to my life and all that. Get out of here. I mean, you don't get to, with the way she's speaking, that as she's gotten older and she's been through whatever, however many men, you don't even have to be a lot. Now we got to pay a higher premium for her on a come line, but for us to have access, for her, the access is sex. Because she keeps saying, I got to give you all of this information just so we can lay down and have sex. That's just bullshit.
And it goes to the point of where we said earlier, no pain. She gonna get slutted out. This is the thing. When a man, you sit there talking that shit, that man listen to that shit. Once he gets you there and he make your ankles be your earmuffs, and now your ass is sitting there and you.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. You know, this is the craziest thing, and this is why when I be like, how do these women think that they can do what men do? There's no way. I was like, damn, if you can see yourself having sex with a man, do you understand how crazy you look? You're vulnerable. This man can snap your neck at any time. The way that you are, the positions are compromised positions. Doggy style, missionary. You think you doing something because you on top doing cowgirl? That don't do shit. That man got that damn hip. Anytime that you do something he don't want, he'll flip you on over. You don't dominate. And I told the woman this before. I said, you have no idea of how tumultuous sex is. If you knew what we had in our mind while we hitting them skins, we ain't listening. It starts out with the Isley Brothers and all that shit. By the time you midway in that shit is 2 Live Crew.
That shit's for her anyway. So.
It's only for her. Because right now we talking about get it, face down, ass up, turn your ass around. You getting slutted the fuck out. You ain't screwed me, I screwed you. That's why we have a problem with niggas that talk about getting pegged.
But that's what I'm saying, that her understanding is incorrect. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I want to point out. What her this is the biggest red flag about her, right? For one, right, she wants to play masculine and feminine.
Right.
You can't do that. This what women don't understand, right? Men, and I like to preface it like this, right? When we as fellas talk about how we got to keep our emotions in check, because if your emotions go out of whack too many times with a female, what's gonna happen? Right? She gonna look at you. She gonna look at you a certain way, right?
Right.
Notice how she was like, "Okay, I need you to give me your numbers, da 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 da, and if you want to fly me out, that's okay too." So you the man in a relationship when you want to be, right? But when it comes to putting some paper on the table or getting somebody to see you, right, then it's his responsibility, right? Right. She ain't to be trusted. I don't trust no female that mess with females. I just don't for a healthy relationship. I don't trust no female that will actually lick another female's pussy. I don't trust her. Yeah. That hoe is greedy. It doesn't matter as long as I'm just telling y'all what it is, right? She's greedy, right? No matter what happens when a rubber hits the road, right? She's gonna choose her how can I say this? Her desires over the right thing to do. Right? She'll never be married. I'm telling y'all right now, she'll marry a chick. She'll marry a chick.
Yeah.
But as far as a man coming in and doing that, that's not happening, bro. Not with all that. Not with all that. Buy a dog and die alone. You know, y'all know routine.
Nah, absolutely not. Especially, like you're saying, what we keep missing is that women have these expectations for men that like these guys have to be, Don Quixote and shit, right? That guy will never want a woman like her. Right? That top dude is never gonna choose her. Not for anything else but recreation. And maybe even not that. Because if he's at that level, he's probably reached the age of discernment where he's a little bit more judicious where he sticks his pecker in.
But it don't take asking for passwords and that type of access to know if a man is going to deal with you. Like, it don't take asking for passwords to see where you stand in a man's life. It don't take all that. It shouldn't take, oh, well, I'm gonna ask him for his passwords, and if he don't give me his passwords, then I'm not gonna be with him.
Right.
It doesn't take that. You can. She's 41, 42. You've been on this earth long enough to be able to gauge and read a man. If a man is not doing certain things, that means he don't want you to hold a certain place in his life, and you got to be okay with that and walk and keep it moving. But to say that you're setting this precedence so early in a relationship, like you setting the rules, and you better give me authority, and you better, I this whole cell phone obsession, I don't even want to.
It's not it. The cell phone password is a metaphor for her control.
Yeah, like I don't even
want to know. Her being in control.
Men, I don't even want to know. I think and that's that Eve trait, right? Don't eat from this tree.
Yeah.
You can eat all the trees here. Just don't eat from this one, right? Yeah. And what women want to do? They want to eat from the one.
I want that one.
That one. It looks good. It looks juicy. I think I would know everything if I ate that one, right?
Absolutely.
Why would I want to be in your phone? Why would I? For what? So I can be cursing you out and nagging you, and it don't even gotta be that you with somebody else. Or why you liking this picture? And why you doing? I don't have time, nor do I want to have that mental space of knowing what you doing when I'm not looking, when I'm not around. Like, that's between you and God. You're going to have to work that out with God, because it's going to be revealed in some time or another. I don't have to look at it. If your intentions are pure, or if your intentions are not pure, it'll be revealed at some point in time.
And so a confirmation of her control. That's all she looked at. The phone is just, if that man acquiesces to what she's saying, that gives her the feeling of that she's in control of this dude, and it's gonna be downhill for him all the time after that.
It has nothing to do with I give you access to my body, you give me access to your phone, and It has everything to do with, are you going to do what I asked you to do?
All of that.
Are you going to do what I want? She talks about in other interviews. So her mom and dad were never married. Her mom was a drug addict. Her mom got hooked on the drugs that her father sold.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the background she comes from. Okay. She talks about, always being upkept by her father, and her father never taught her how to go out and be with a man for money, right? But a lot of things are not taught, they're caught, right? Mm-hmm. So her father was a pimp or a drug dealer, or whatever he was. That's what she is. That's what she is. She is her father without the drugs, and the drug may be her getting this money for her, saying that she's a doctor, and women glorifying her and listening to her. But you are the nature of where you come from, unless you do some soul searching and things of that nature to change it. But you are where you come from. Yeah. And she comes from a drug addicted mother and a father who sold drugs and was an it dude and iced her out and things of that nature. Yes, she went to school, she got her degrees and did other things with her life. But at the end of the day, the core of who you are is who your father made you to be. You're a slick talker. You're someone who can get money. You don't have to sell drugs, but now you're selling this false hope of women should take, should get in the driver's seat and should just be trying to run things with a man as if God didn't give him the head position. Yeah. Okay, he gave the man the head position. So for you to even think that you can go somewhere and run things because the caliber of woman you are, because of the stature of woman you are, is completely false. Mm-hmm. It's false. Just like when you the one, out there dealing drugs or whatever, can't nobody tell you nothing when you getting money. Can't nobody tell you nothing when you got the hottest honeys on the block. Can't nobody tell you. That's that mentality that you have. Like Uncle Rick was saying, she has a certain mentality that's not going to get her anywhere, but she doesn't even realize it comes from, and she talked about how her father was a womanizer and things of that nature. Well, you're only doing what he was doing, and you're just doing it in your feminine person. Mm-hmm. Because if she had a mother that wasn't on drugs, and she had a mother that was married to her father, and her father wasn't selling drugs, then maybe she would know that, hey, my father's running things and my mother is there to help him. My mother is there to nurture him. My mother is there to, help him with the children and things of that nature. But she was in a broken home.
And she brought that
home did not help her.
She brought it in every other relationship she was in. So, yeah, one of the things, and we haven't talked about it a whole lot because, goddamn, I have no idea why a lot of people, men, when we know, it's certain things that we know when a woman is really into us. Damn, just the love. It's not just, I love you and I'm in love with you. It's a whole different type of feeling that you get when a woman, like, for instance, I'm a simple guy. I done had women and did things for me, man, because they paid attention, right? If they gave me gifts and shit like that, you can't just give me any type of gift and I'm just going to be like ecstatic, right? And that's what y'all want. Y'all want a nigga to just be like, oh my God. And we ain't like that because we ain't really used to getting gifts like that. But when you do something that's just out cold for your man, it ain't because you bought him like the most expensive gift. It's because you paid attention to that man and you did something and you added to what that man, if this is what you needed and I know you like it type of thing, right? We all done had our wives and women that gave us some gifts. And I'm telling you, the expensive gifts didn't mean too much more. It was cool. But if they find out what it is that you like, your hobbies, the things that, you know what I'm saying? I know guys, man, and I'm glad that I hung around partners that had wives that actually really, really paid attention to them, right? Had a homeboy. His wife, I don't even know how she did it. She got him to go on a trip with us. We wasn't even in on it. We went on a trip. It was a 5-day trip that we went to Florida. We come back, dog, she sat back and remodeled the whole basement for him. You know what that cave looks like? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, this is yours. This is what, man, I ain't never seen my homeboy even give an inkling of emotion. She had that motherfucker tearing up. It wasn't because it was the basement she got redone, because he was just like, how much money it cost, right? It was because she paid attention to what my man, she got tired of him being in the damn garage, right? She got tired of him, he do the cigars and the whiskey and shit like that. She remodeled the basement for him. Had the bar, the neon lights. She had his name on it. The whole turf thing with the 50-yard line on it and shit like that. I was like, damn, that was kind of dope what she did. But it was because she understood her. She know he loved football. He was, about sports. It was everything about him. She had his favorite snacks there. She knew the type of cigars that he smoked. You know what I'm saying? She had it stocked because she paid attention to him. And I think at that time, they probably was only married for 3 years. But she wanted to be a wife. That was the whole thing. I want to be here. I want to be exactly where, and she showed that man that, man, I said, damn, I got a lot of them. My mother and my father, they gave each other so much shit. They was running out of gifts to give each other. They bought each other cars. My mama bought my father a motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? But it was because we get in tune with each other. You know, and that's the thing. We end up accepting the flaws, and we actually encourage the betterment of each other. That's just what it is. Yeah. That shit she talking, that's why you can't have dudes that really is on point to sit back and even can listen to this. It's hard to stomach what she's saying because she got all this word salad and she ain't never did none of this shit. She was a serial fiance. There's nothing that she could say that any woman should be following her on. They're like, nah. We gonna have to listen to some other people. The ones that you listen to is the ones that's actually in it. They ain't gotta be 15, 20 years in marriage. All they gotta do is just be in the shit. If you wanna be married, you talk to the people that's already doing it. That's how you do it. You don't talk to somebody, sit back and, hey, I'm a doctor, I'm a PhD. And they talking from this is the craziest part about her. She's not even talking from a clinical standpoint. She's talking as a child. Give me anything else that she said. Everything was about who? My mama, my daddy, and me. That's it. She can't talk about her children. She can't talk about her being an adult. The only thing about her being an adult that she's in is that she went and failed. That's it. All that other shit she talking about, man, it should nobody even be. That's, again, it goes to what we were saying earlier. Some of this shit you just got to ignore. You got to turn these people off. I get it because we talking like we have a panel right now. It ain't just us talking. You got an audience out here. So, I mean, it's something for us to think about. But that shit she on, I'm telling you, Precious, that right there, it gets to a point where I guess we do have to talk about it and we have to make it a spectacle and say, this is what not to say. This is what not to do. Don't be that person right there. Look what she's doing now. 42 years old. She got 15 more Christmases.
Arpane brought up a point and said, you know, if he not going to ask her a certain question, like, what's the point of the interview, right? Mm-hmm. Well, he did ask her that question, so I'm going to.
Okay. Yep, he did.
Cutting them off.
The first one I cut off because.
Tell me why you keep cutting them off.
The first one I cut off because although my father was a street dude who made a lot of money in the streets, and so I was always well spoiled financially, he didn't raise me to look for a man for money.
Yes.
Right? Street term. He didn't raise me to be a gold digger.
Yeah.
He raised me to find a man of good character, to find a man who looked, smelled nothing.
Now, did he really raise her to find a man of good character?
Hell no.
Because if he wasn't a man of good character,
come on now,
how could he teach her to find one of good character?
Tell him about the gun line, boss.
Are you saying a guy that sells drugs can't be a man of character?
Well,
no, that guy that she's talking about, that street nigga that she talking about,
right?
Her father,
and you have children, and that's what you're going to resort to. And that's your only job, and you don't find anything else to do to get money, another way to get money. No, you don't have good character, in my opinion.
I can't agree with that.
Because those guys selling drugs are stringing out your mamas and your aunties and your sisters and your daddies. What are we talking about?
He got her mom became an addict from the drug that he was selling. Now, again, he didn't make her. Because again, I don't believe in anyone can make you do anything, but he also wasn't a good influence. So
it's about to be good.
I'm just going over you can't. I'm not going to agree with that broad statement that just because you're in the streets, you like poor character.
When you continue to most people who are in the streets, they're in the streets for their own reason, right? When you stay in the streets, that means you haven't built your character past the streets. Your character don't go past the streets.
Well, a Prototype, talk in terms of probabilities. What's the probability that her father, who's living that kind of life, sat her down and gave her a lesson on morals and how to grow up? It don't really fit.
There's a high probability. I mean, based off of the people I know, I know plenty of great men who just do the street, who are in the street. I mean, it's like they're good fathers. You know what I'm saying? They coach youth. They give back to the community. I mean, and I'm not talking about like giving back turkeys or giving the whole projects, tennis shoes or anything like that. But I'm not going to sit here and say that just because a dude decides to sell drugs or that's the way he makes money. You know what I'm saying? That gives him.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm just thinking.
It gives him bad decisions. He might not make the best decisions, but I'm not going to say that he's not he's not able to.
Okay. I'm not talking about impossibilities, and you're right. I mean, he could say some great shit to her, but it seems like she was very familiar with what he did for a living. Right, it's like it's like a parent telling a kid don't smoke while she's blowing smoke in the kid's face.
But most parents that smoke tell their kids not to smoke.
Don't smoke. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Don't do this shit right here.
Don't do this because this will lead you here.
That's lost, though, right? I mean, some of the impact of what you're saying is lost because you're doing the thing that is bad, and the kid knows it now. Right. People grow up with the parents who smoke, blowing smoke in their face, who don't smoke. But everybody I know, at least they had a stint with smoking.
No, but that's a good premise.
I've never smoked cigarettes, and both my parents, all three of my parents smoked. Both my dads were crack kids, and my mom.
You're right.
But the premise that he was talking on, I want him to expound on it because I do kind of feel what he's saying also because I know those same type of people that's done immoral things, but they wasn't immoral people. And, they got to a point where they end up doing good. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, I haven't came to a consensus of it, but I understand exactly where he's coming from.
I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, especially when you start young. You know what I'm saying? Of course, when you start young and you start selling drugs, after you get to a certain point, you can't just jump out. Ain't nobody just going to let you jump out because you're feeding different people. You know what I'm saying? So it's more than just like, oh, I'm jumping out or I'm done. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just that. So I can't say that. I can't learn from a person that's done it. I've known people who's gone that route. Not many people make it, but you know what I'm saying, they do their stints. I'm just not going to say that just because you sell drugs that you're a bad person. You can't teach morals.
Yeah,
the damage is already done, though. Yeah, everybody get to 40 now. All of a sudden, I'm a good guy. But look at the damage. 25 years of damage that's done. This is where we are. This is why it
would be the best thing for you and your community. Yeah. I mean. I disagree with you on that.
I mean, you're talking about community. Like, so the thing about it is that's not even how drug dealers really function. They don't even sell to the community. They go out into the white suburban trailer tracks.
No, they don't. Stop lying, man.
Come on, I know. The ones I know don't sell where we live.
Come on, man.
Most drug dealers that are black are low-level, mid-level drug dealers. Ain't no kingpin brothers.
I don't know.
What are you talking about? We're talking about dudes hustling.
Whatever.
We're talking about. Oh my God.
Come on,
whatever
man.
it might be. The guys I know,
he can be a good character to his child.
They go out into the country bumpkin and make their money out there.
They ain't not going no country bumpkin. They going
maybe the guys but I'm just telling you my
drug dealers all over America.
Yeah,
it's a few.
I'm telling you my anecdotal.
But the guys that move like that, I guarantee they are older guys.
But it's very interesting to me because what Prototype said is not far fetched, man. I know.
No, but
I've known. This is what I'm saying. I've known fathers, great fathers for their family, and they was out there in them streets. It's like it's a conflicted lifestyle that they live, right? And that's what I'm saying, that it's a great conversation to have because you have, man, most of your damn counselors, dog, was street niggas.
Yeah.
Mostly, all of your 12-step motherfuckers was what? Alcoholics and drug addicts, right? So it's at a point where it's good for the conversation because that actually is not one-sided. It can't be. Not one time. You got people that's doing great things in the community right now. Great fathers, great mothers, but they were devils in the community at one point in their life.
But look at the damage that's done, though.
No, I get it, but that's why I said it's a great conversation to have.
Look at all these people out here. Oh, we got grown-ups who are having what is it when they have the residuals of the drug effect? We have grown-ups who are born with the residues of the drug dope in their system.
Yes, I agree with that
too. The damage
too.
is done. Now,
yes. Yes. So no, the only thing I'm saying is this: I don't want people to get confused. I don't want you to get.
I'm not saying
Coach
I'm not telling nobody to sell drugs. I'm not saying
right. It's just, but what he said was not too far fetched out there.
You come from a situation that you don't have a lot of opportunity. Like that's what people do.
Man,
so I know great fathers who coach kids and do XYZ, and you know what I'm saying. And they just make their money in the street.
Well, Precious, that's
shit.
No, we just stopped there.
Yeah.
Right.
I would like to hear more.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It was that short.
Okay.
That short.
That was pretty dope, though, man.
Wait, I'm sorry, you guys. StreamYard.
No problem.
It had the other clip on top, which is weird. But no, we have more to go on this one.
Okay.
Him, right? And so I found nothing like him. Right. And so I found a man of good character who was faithful, who was loving the boy next door. He was an athlete. He just was a good man.
Yes.
But he had no work ethic. And so as I'm in this relationship trying to navigate, I would call my father constantly and say, although I'm not denying him of my body, right? Although I'm trying my best to still show up in my best form, it's causing an internal struggle because I'm winning the bread and he's domesticated. But this is not the role that feels natural for me.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And my father kept saying, but he's a good man, baby. He's a good man. This man is faithful. This man is loving. But this is coming from a father who was a great father, Pastor Bryant, but a womanizer.
There you go. So there you go. There you go. She heard the words, but her spirit was poisoned by her dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there ain't nothing a man can do to change.
Hey, did her dad make her do this?
No, he didn't. She chose it. She chose all of those things, but that's why she called him for. Hey, he's a good. And her father tried to convince her. Hey,
her dad's blood is running through her veins, and again, like I said, like a lot of things are not taught; they're just caught, just through the bloodstream and in vitro. Like it's just caught that way, and unless you change that mentality, unless you truly, get yourself out of that environment, out of that train of thinking, then you're just going to follow in those footsteps and not even realize that you are a carbon copy of your parents.
She used the word too. She wanted that dude to be a domesticated hustler. She used the word domesticated, but he wasn't hustling like her father. She wanted him to be a domesticated hustler. Like a man wants his wife to be a hoe in the bedroom, but a princess in the public.
She was hustling like her father, right? She, wanted to get all these degrees. She did it a different way, but it still produces the same results when you have the same mentality as your father.
But she blamed it on her father. That's what Rick is trying to say. She blamed her plight on her pops.
I would like to see her degree, and I would like to know if that University of Phoenix degree holds as much merit as University of Rutgers. I'm just curious.
University of Phoenix. Hey, listen, man, don't be laughing at the University of Phoenix.
I'm gonna be Dr. Ferg next year, man. So y'all be ready.
Doctor.
I got the education. I ain't gonna show y'all no paperwork either. I'm just gonna say this.
In our Baja state before they get in a real relationship with us. Whenever I've heard a man say, "Let me see what you look like with no makeup."
Oh yeah, that's
so tired of StreamYard. This problem hasn't been fixed yet.
You might just need to reset it, like just when you go off, just reset your browsers and stuff.
All right, I'll play this one and try and get the correct one up there. So she talked about having access and wanting access to a man when they are getting to a certain stage. She wants the security of having that access. Well, she comes on to Jason Lee's show and breaches privacy and violates the access that somebody did give her, and this is what she does with it.
To ask for a therapy session. Okay,
and that's why I want to give him his props.
Hold on. Give it up for Offset looking for help.
Yes. Okay, there we go. There's a delay. It's horrible.
Offset came in my DMs
to ask for a therapy session. Okay,
and that's why I want to give him his props.
And give it up for Offset looking for help.
Yes. You can face in his face like
sue her.
This woman is just putting Offset business in the streets. Okay. And then look what she says further.
Yeah, see, well, you see how I put that out there? I knew I was gonna get you. But he slid in my DMs and asked for a session.
Spare my girl. Go ahead. Don't spare. Just speak truth to power.
No, I was just saying I think Cardi B is a beautiful woman, right? And I believe she went into it choosing to have a husband and family, which is what she created.
Yes.
Cardi came in and said, I'm creating a family. I have no kids. I'm with Offset. You're my husband. We're having these babies. Offset came in already a baby daddy. She chose a man who already produced baby mamas, broken families, broken homes. She chose him. That's why we can't really blame him. And then he came and gave her what she chose from the beginning of when she chose the man. A womanizer and a baby daddy. She chose that.
Men are also convincing. Will tell you that they're changing. Oh, I'm changed. No. I'm going to change for you.
Let me say this. If a man is going to change, is if you do like Cardi and many other women have done. You choose the man to see if he's going to change. And I'm here to tell you, and I don't care what man wants to challenge me on it, baby, please challenge me, that a man is going to be the man that you chose him at the place that you chose him at.
It makes no sense.
You got it, bro.
You got the floor.
Hey, her results tell us everything we need to know. She got it figured out. She got the game locked up, man. I'm about to book me a session.
Yeah, I'm gonna book me one too.
A man is a man that he is when you choose him.
Yes.
She talked about Cardi B and Offset's relationship. Yes. I don't know if Offset went any further in conversation with her, and I don't know what small conversation that they did have based upon the fact that she just aired him out that he reached out to her.
She's not real.
And she says slid in her DMs, and he literally said, "Can we have a conversation?" And then he put professional or professionally. And the way that she's making it sound, now we know Offset is still married. What they doing and how separate they are and living their own separate lives right now is their business. But legally, he is still married to Cardi B, and Cardi B is still married to him. And so to say that he slid in your DMs as to give off the impression that he was trying to holler or he was trying to, get at her is very off-putting. But then not only that, she goes to talk about Cardi B and her choosing Offset as the baby maker, baby daddy type of man. And that's who he was when she met him. And then she tops it all off and says that a man is the man that he is and is going to be when you choose him.
In that moment, yes, she's correct on that. In that moment, yes, that's exactly. It's two type. It's two type of dudes, right? Ones that can be encouraged and those who can't. Right now, the Offset, I think the one she's a supposedly doctor. She's very unprofessional.
She's lying.
Yeah, she's lying. Right. But to insist that she's saying for her to say that he slid in her DMs is inferring that it was something other than what it was.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? First and foremost. But two, right? So why would Offset have to change?
Right.
That's not a rhetorical question, right? Why would he have to change? He doesn't. He getting the results. He got her, didn't he? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But what it's funny. It's crazy how women look at relationships, right? What she said, right, and what most women say is that when they look at a man or they look to get with a man, they're looking for that man to add to their lives, but their ability to add to that man's lives is nominal to none. You notice that? You come into my life, I gotta make your finances better. I gotta make your house better. You gotta be driving a better car. You gotta be dressing better. You gotta go to better places, right? Don't take me to Applebee's, right? I gotta go to Nobu's, right? I gotta go to Ruth Chris when we just going out, right? Right. And this woman, this where y'all really rob yourselves of good men, right? If you got married when you supposed to, younger, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, before life beat you up and all these expectations get set, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were supposed to grow with your partner. Let me tell y'all what grow means. That means you and your partner grow through shit and y'all get past it. Y'all go through stuff and y'all get past it and y'all learn. That's what growing means in a relationship. Not your finances, not you getting a new job, not you getting a nice car. That's material shit. That shit can go like that. That's what people don't understand. Shit happens every day. Right? But what happened, Precious, to women being inspirations for men to be better men? What happened to the support of a woman looking in at a man and saying, you know what? I believe you can be better than this, right? I believe that as a man, you have another level that you can achieve. And what can I do to help you accomplish that? Right? We supposed to be, this is what I'll be talking about. We supposed to be ready-made and ready for a family. It doesn't matter what we've been through. It doesn't matter that I had a father or a toxic mother, or I went through this and that, or if I was deprived or ranger. Oh Lord, white supremacy held me back. That shit don't matter for a man.
Mm-hmm.
But for a woman, they can use every single excuse, not only not to be a good wife, not to be a good mother, not to be a good mate. We constantly put these weights on men to be better when nobody ever asks, hey, woman, can you be better? And it's to the point, and I gotta agree with my bro Proto on this, right? Us as men just have to accept that this is the way women are. They don't have the potential. They don't have the potential to be better women. What she should have said, right, is when you meet a woman where she's at, that's the woman she is. Because we have to love y'all for what you is and what you ain't, right? God damn it, you get better. You don't even dress for us. They don't even dress for us. They dress for them. They ain't going to the gym to look better, right? They just want to look better for themselves. Y'all gonna fuck around and get what y'all asking for.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming.
Y'all gonna get it.
Damn, y'all just said some shit. Go ahead, Prototype, because I ain't got shit to say. I just wanted to just tell them about the gun line, boss.
Well, I mean, I know a lot of people don't agree with what I'm about to say right now, but I believe in the duality of men. of people. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know. I'm not a woman to tell you, but the duality of men is we going to give you what you present. You know what I'm saying? So like we're going to treat hoes like hoes, and we're going to respect women like women. You know what I'm saying? Like I know, I mean, like I said, I know killers who will go down to Miss Johnson's house and make sure her grass is cut. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a duality in men, and we're gonna give you the man that you you give us to be. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a respectable woman, then you know we'll respect you in a way. You know what I'm saying? And be that kind of guy. But so I don't agree with her sentiment, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, according to my wife, she shouldn't have dared been with me because I had a kid and I had a kid on the way. And I was truthful, like, look, I got and when she asked me, like, I got 1.5 kids. She's like, what's that mean? So I got a kid on the way. And she decided to rock with me anyway for some strange reason. But here we are, you know, 15, 16 years later. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the fact that she even I guess took a chance on me like that, I thought it was strange, but she did. And you know, here we are. She gave me a respectable woman. So to her, I've been a respectable man. So
that duality of men that's profound shit there, Prototype, is because it's true. Yeah, that's really true. Right? I agree with that 100%. There's a duality with men, for sure. And so I guess that's where you were coming from before, that even an absolutely horrible guy could have something in him that's still worthwhile to somebody, depending on who that person is. There's no doubt about it. I've seen that myself, so it's true. And it varies in almost all men, right? I know some tough guys, and I see him with a lady and say, how could you even like this dude? Well, the way he treats her is not the way he's going to treat you, you know? And the way he's with her, you know, some of the biggest, toughest guys, their soft spot is a dainty woman or a child or whatever it is, but he could be a cold stove killer out in the street. There's no doubt about it. That's why in some movies, you always wonder why some of the biggest killers even have a family. Right? Why would you even have a family in the kind of life you live, you know? So I could dig
it. So you got a man they call Uncle Charlie, right? Charlie Wilson, the singer, right? That man was, you know, we know his music and all the things like that. This man was out here on crack in the streets. At one point, he was living on Skid Row in California, and he had a woman that was his counselor that got him off of narcotics, alcohol, all these things. And, you know, this man was homeless in the streets, and his song was being played on the radio. It's crazy. And the woman that ended up being his wife was that woman that believed in him. She believed in that man. And it's crazy when you hear the story of the man, because you hear shit now, right? We heard, you know, you dropped the bomb on me and all that stuff. And hey, my name is Charlie, last name Wilson, all that stuff that you see, all that great stuff that comes out of that. That man wasn't living great at one point. And what he can tell you in his testimony was that his wife saved his life. It's more than just him. You got a whole bunch of men that had those type of women in their life. I think that there's something in women that it brings the proclivity of men to have grace for them, because we all want that in that woman. It just so happened that sometimes that shit just is not happening, right? For a lot of us. Like what you just heard with Prototype, he's like, man, I don't know why that woman, you know what I'm saying, she chose to stay with me because I gave her meat. And that's the reason why, Prototype. because she seen you. She saw you. She saw what you presented to her, and she saw the potential that you had in you also. The craziest thing about this is why it's so, when we out here and we talking about dating and marriage and all these different things, man, it makes no sense now when you hear a lot of these folks that's talking now. And it ain't just the younger generation. I'm gonna put this shit all on them. It has something to do with my generation, the generation before me. And when I hate the way that women and men are looking at each other now. I hate it, man. I think we all do. I think we can't stand it. When you hearing what that woman is talking right now, a lot of us, we got to say that it's just word salad that she's doing, and it's for her purpose. It has nothing to do with community or anything like that. Wife, husband, man, that reigns supreme over everything when you understand what it represents. The problem is that nobody has it as a representative anymore. They just have it as a title. That shit hurts. It's hurting the community right now because what we seeing right now in real time is real shit. I don't care if it's on internet or if it's in the world. It all coincides with each other. What do we do? Because I don't even know that lady, Cheyenne Bryant. I don't know her. All I know is what she's representing is not what men nor women need to hear, because it perpetuates the banging against pause, but with each other. We keep getting more. Every year that passes, it's more and more of us being separate from each other. And we act like we don't understand each other. I hate that. We keep acting like we don't understand it. We do. The problem is that you got a lot of men that are not being honest. The reason being is because they're scared to lose what they don't even have right now. And what I mean by that is this. Men think that they got access to women. They don't. They don't. Just because you got sexual access to her don't mean that you have access to her. That's one of the things that I love about having someone like Anar Payne here. Let me tell you why. Our Payne showed his wedding. And, the video that he showed, man, that shit felt so good. It was more than just him and his beautiful wife. Man, he had homeboys that was in his corner. That's gonna be my best man right there. That's gonna be my groomsman right there. She's talking about, because what happens in the wedding, I don't know if you guys ever had one, but you're planning and you're putting people in categories while you're planning this wedding. When I got married, my best man was my father. Because I had too many, at that time, man, I had too many friends I was cool with. And it was like, man, when I did it, we were wearing cowboy bonds too, RP. What year did you get married?
87.
Yeah, 87.
I got married in 94. Mm-hmm. So this was the time when we were wearing white tux and cowboy bonds, mm-hmm. Right? And I'm still looking. Me and my ex-wife, we looking for that doggone videotape because I want to do what you did, man, to show you the beauty in that. That shit was dope. Let me tell you what really made it dope. Because y'all still together. Y'all still together. Man, that shit is. It's a great feeling because what y'all did was build community. Then y'all had children and all. Man, come on, man. What are we talking about nowadays, y'all? I swear to God, dog, I think you should make that when you do your before you do your shows, that should be showing people. If y'all ain't never, if you never seen it, I'm telling you, man, it's something that'll show you something totally different. Especially now, you know, I seen a young. Our Pain have hair. I was like, I didn't even know it. I was like, damn, now I know how tall you do. You a tall guy, man. I was like, damn, when I saw it. But to see everybody's face. Now, this is the crazy part right here. How many people in that video are still here to this day, right? Whew.
Yeah, not going. Yeah, so when I gave it to the people in the family, I told them, I said, when you watch this video, it's going to bring back memories, and you're gonna tear up because aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, a lot of people going.
I had great aunts.
Yeah.
I had my grandmother was there. My grandfather was there. I had cousins. When I look, I'm like, damn, looking at that now, at least probably about 50 or 60% of those folks are no longer here anymore. But when you see how beautiful it was, man, when everybody was having a good time because they celebrated the juncture of two people bringing all of them together. That's the craziest part. That's what the wedding does. If you don't know, a wedding, that's why it's cool when you want to have a big wedding and things like that, because you want to bring people together. They don't have that concept anymore. They just want a big wedding so it can look good. It's the same thing in a marriage. You don't want your marriage to look good. You want your marriage to be good. And because what happens is that it shines the light on everyone else that's around you. Everybody else that's connected to you, it shines a light. It inspires people. It makes people reflect. It does so many other things other than y'all just being dressed up, eating chicken and steak and dancing and doing hustles. It's way more than that. It's a time where people remember a lot. We have a problem with this right now, folks, and I'm going to keep saying it. We're in a state of emergency. It's a state of emergency. You're never going to see that again unless they put it in a museum until we get our act together. And then we got to do it all over again. It got to be a whole different way how we do it. But if I'm telling you right now, man, when we are talking about the next generation and where they're at right now, we have to be able to have that type of a conversation. We can't talk about pointing fingers and look. One of the things I love about people that talk about history, that can talk about it without being emotional, is the fact that they can give you the facts and not what they think. What are we doing? What are we doing, y'all?
No. Dr. Bryant has a way. But you know, one of the things I would like to see, though, for everybody, and that's why I try to get it across to the young people, I'd like to see a panel of young people talking about the future. Forget about the damn, the past is the past. Learn from it, absorb it. But what do you think? Where do you see the future? Very seldom see. I talk more about the future, and I'm on the other side than I hear young people talk about the future. Right, and the reason why I say that is because I have a millennial and a Gen Z, as my kids. They're not kids anymore; they're my children, I should say. But the future is theirs; it's not mine. Right? All the information of the past they see every day when they see me. That's all I need to know. Hey, listen, I was there, now I'm here. What do you want to do in the future? And a lot of people don't talk about the future. Not a lot of people just don't talk about it because they can't get past the past.
And marriage ain't nowhere in it.
Black folks.
Hey man, I want to. My bad, man. I wanted to say something, man, and I wanted to say something while Proto was here. Like I understand what y'all are saying. Just thinking about the way that I grew up. Like that's why I've been over here just thinking about that shit the whole time. Bro, I wasn't a good person when I was in the streets. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say. I would like when I was in the streets, I was not a good person, bro. Like the shit that I was doing, like regardless of my situation, why I felt like I had to do it, I was not a good person, bro. Like I was literally putting poison into motherfuckers. Like I wasn't doing it myself, but I damn sure wasn't on the other side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I was still coming home to my mom's, like, you know what I'm saying? Still going to school, still trying to get good grades. But the shit that I was doing outside my house, like I wasn't representing my family the right way. Like I would to be 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, throwing up gang signs, fucking, out on the street corners, like not having no curfew, coming home at midnight on school nights, selling drugs on the like I was not a good person. It took me a long time. It literally, bro, it took me a long time to get out of the mentality that I was in. Like, even when I joined the army, like I was, my boys, a couple of my best friends had to pull me to the side. One was a captain, one was an E6. They had to pull me to the side and be like, bro, you throwing your life away. Mm-hmm. Like, I was still in the same mentality, bro. Like, the same mentality. Couldn't nobody tell me shit. Like all I would be like, yo, Kansas City this, Kansas City. I don't give a fuck what them niggas had to say. Sergeant this, what? I'm a man, dog. You're not gonna tell me to shut up. No, I didn't understand what leadership was. So if I had a daughter and I was selling drugs in the streets and still yes, I'm doing what I gotta do in a selfish act, right? To take care of my family and make sure. No, I'm not a fucking good person at that time. I'm not. I'm just doing what I got to do because my situation is that. I can't call myself a good person if I'm a pimp and I'm bringing hoes around my daughter. Like, how? Like, no, there is a duality, right? Because at some point in time, you want to change. Like, you hope that you change. You hope that your situation changes. You hope that you can get out of that situation. Mm-hmm. But if I'm bringing hoes in the house, and my daughter is here, and then I'm like, well, you're not gonna be pimped out when you get like what? Yeah. Yes, we do stupid shit as parents sometimes. We smoke. You might smoke and be like, yo, smoking is bad for you. You can get you cancer. But I love nicotine and I'm gonna keep smoking these cigarettes. Right? Yes. It's the same shit to fucking do what I as I do. Right? Right? That's some of the dumbest shit in the world. Yeah. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, the kid does exactly what the fuck you was doing. Yeah. They do what they do what you say while they have to. Like, let's just be honest, bruh. Like, no, if you're a murderer and you out there murdering, no, you're not a good person. Yeah. I wish I could, I wanted to say this, bro. We listen, I was just thinking, bro. My mind was just going. Like, I was just over here like, damn, Dirt, was I really a good No. I was doing what the fuck I had to do to try to get out of the situation that I was in. And then when he said that stupid ass shit, well, yeah, they were still going out to the no, nigga, I was selling to my people. That's who I was selling to. Right in my fucking hood. Why? Because they was right there. They was easily accessible. And then I could go to the mall and get some Jordans. Like, what? Yeah. Man, my bad, bro.
Hey, Frank, man, listen, the fact that you said what you said, man, I appreciate that. Because that's what I've had to sort of give to a lot of young brothers, man, based off their situations. Yes, yeah, they was good fathers to their own children. But like I said, look at the damage that's done. Yeah. And when we go back in that time, right? And even before you can see where we are today, because most people in their 40s who was born into that shit, they ain't talking about no family. They ain't talking about building nothing. everybody cheated. Everybody ain't no good. Ain't nobody doing shit. Everybody broke to them. So, but this is their time. And this is why I say this is a unique time for brothers. Because brothers are getting the word. And some of them, JT, I heard you earlier on that panel, listen to that crazy stuff today. But hey, the conversations are being had.
They were, they were wild though.
That's why I say they was wild. But the conversations are being had. And if you can catch a young man or young woman early enough and give them the right information, despite where they started from, when that light bulb kick on, there could be a better outcome for that person. But I can't be listening to somebody who don't believe the shit ain't gonna ever get better. If I want to be better, I can't listen to nobody's telling me all women ain't shit if I want a woman. A man ain't shit if I want a man. Because I'm going to sabotage it from the beginning. And I think, this is my last. This is a very unique place for men. Very unique place. This is the first time where outside of us, other people are starting to be held accountable. And will be getting dismissed because of their behavior. And brothers know this.
Shit.
So, like our parent said, we on the other side. I got a 21-year-old, and man, he better make sure that he can recall some of the things we talked about, or he better come back and get some more information, because it's a shitty-ass pool out there from the strongest of us. People are already talking about separate. Man, we can't do shit alone in America. It sounds good till you put in that situation. So, I don't know, man. Don't bring your ass over here. Keep your ass out there. I don't want no concubine woman. I don't want no extra. I don't want none of that shit. Keep that shit over there, and you'll be all good. So
I think that the balance, Coach Ferg, I think the balance definitely would be when you have older and young folks having a conversation together. Right, talking together, not talking at one another. Right, I think it's getting there. It's just it's at a slow pace.
Yeah, slow. Sure.
One of the biggest problems that we have right now is that you guys can think that it's women and men coming together. I don't think so. I think it's men. I think right now we're in the process of men being able to come together, because it's conflicting to women. They're hearing us, like you said, Coach. I was on that. You say me on that panel. You see how conflicted that was with just men. Just men. At the end of the day, it really comes down to us understanding that there's a process to each and everything that we have right now. I think that people take relationships the same way that they take sex. And that's, as the shit being just social and fun, and not something that is actually that's needed, right? There's no way that we can have a functional community without infrastructure, first and foremost. The infrastructure is promoted and is induced by men. That's what the infrastructure is. If we can't come together, how we expect our women to be able to follow, right? And that's the problem we have right now. It's the brokenness of the infrastructure. The infrastructure is broken. The foundation has been, have no idea what's happening. So now what we're seeing is everything burning down. It's looking like California. It's looking like certain parts of California. You can't do nothing when the fire starts. The only thing you can do is hope to contain it. That's it. And right now, that's what we're trying to do. We're hoping to contain it. This is the problem, though. Because we get older every day, every week, every month, and every year, at some point, the older ones of us we're gonna say, hey, I pray for y'all. That's basically what happens. I pray for y'all. They try to fight, and then at the end of the day, once they start saying, "Nah, I'm cool," then it's the other people. Once you're in your 30s, 40s, you better start understanding what's happening right now. And what's happening right now, a lot of people in their 30s, they don't know nothing. They don't know what's going on right now. I swear to God, they think it's going to get better. They think it's going to get better. No. It's going to get worse. You're going to have to make it better. You can't depend on other people. You got to depend on the ones that's right in front of you. You can't depend on Trump and Biden and whoever the next president going to be. You can't depend on them. The largest body of government is the damn people. You better figure it out. One of the things that I have to deal with right now, and people that's my age have to deal with right now, is losing our folks. They dropping dead like flies, bro. And it ain't like it's something new. This is a way of life. The ones that was the strong ones, and there was the ones that were calling themselves leading and being activists and all these different things. They out of here. They gone.
Well, that's why JT. That's why it's imperative that people like me, you, everybody who's older, tell the young folks, I'm done giving you advice. I'm telling you, think about what your future is going to be. I mean, like my daughter asked me, I think I said it on here, why do I need a man for? And she wasn't saying it in that derogatory way because she got a guy she liked. Mm-hmm. I said, that's not for me to answer. You're the woman. Why do you need this guy that you like? You figure out why you want that dude. Right? What are you looking for from him? I'm not going to tell you that. What do you want? Right? What are you going to give him, and what do you want from him? You figure that shit out because it's your future. Right? That's the deal. You see me and your mother together. It's not because we all love each other. We like each other at the very least. We like each other. And there's some reason. So I'm telling the young people, forget about that. I can't tell you how to date. I can tell you how to be married. But the point really is the future of everything that you know and love is out there in the future. And if you ain't putting your eyes on that prize, 1 month, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, then what are you doing? What's your plan? Mm-hmm. Right, I laid the tracks. I told my daughters, I made the environment for you guys. I laid the tracks for you to run on.
Yep. Come on.
That's what I did. And now you guys are moving on. You guys are moving like locomotives on your own. And I'm still laying whatever advice you need from me. I'm here.
Yeah. Facts. Well, did we have another clip, or was that the last one?
Yeah, we have one more, and let's
get to that. Let's get to it
on this last clip. But we do have one more, okay? And then we're going to do final words and get out of here.
You got it. All right.
In a year, and it's not because I chose to be celibate. Hold on, Jason. This is not a choice. I'm being transparent right now. Okay. It just happened like this because I'm not into casual. I haven't had sex in a year, and it's not because I chose to be celibate. Hold on, Jason. This is not a choice. I'm being transparent right now. Okay. It just happened like this because I'm not into casual sex. So I'm putting it out there. This is not I chose to be celibate, and I want to do it. I'm being honest. Like, I'm 42. My libido every day, all day is like, so I said to him, well, what if we be companions and do the do and get into this thing and let this take its form?
Meaning sexual partners.
Can you take it down? Yeah. Like, I want it. I'm attracted to him.
So this was a conversation
He covers me. This man spoils me. He loves me. He wants to marry me. I have passwords to his cell phones, access to his home, keys to his house. What do you mean?
That's toxic, and toxic.
That is my love language. So he's speaking my love language is access, transparency, and so
no. You can't. Wait. You talking a lot. You saying a lot. We're gonna have to go over.
Go ahead.
Access to my phone, access to my house, access to my password is not a love language.
Me having your password, you having my password doesn't mean we're looking for something in there. That means that you have full access, transparency to me and me to you. This is my thing. Why would a woman allow someone to penetrate their body, but I can't penetrate full access and transparency to you?
Dr. Bryant, Dr. Cheyenne from LA, they are going to drag you for filth.
I want to be penetrated.
You got the female up there talking some sense, and she just wants to be penetrated.
She's absolutely, and she getting dragged. She deserves to get dragged.
Why does she lie so much? She lied. She tell one lie out the other.
And I want to know who this. I want to know who this imaginary nigga she always talking to. She tell everybody she had this conversation with this nigga. I need to see who he is. I need to see who he is. He ain't a simp. He don't exist. She's lying. Listen, this is the whole thing. And we got to call it how we see it. Everything that this woman is saying is a lie. She's a liar. First and foremost, let me say this.
Okay, Jesus.
I just don't like I don't like women and in dropouts having conversations about heterosexual shit. That shit don't seem right.
I guess he might be.
He gay as shit, bro. He's a dropout.
Lee is homosexual.
He is definitely a dropout.
Well, at least he certainly peeped her bullshit though. He said,
it's not hard, but it's not hard to do it. It's not. Once somebody show you how to get the Rubik's Cube, that's why people don't play the Rubik's Cube no more, because they got the code for the Rubik's Cube now. Once you got that, it's not hard. If that man, that doesn't say anything for him. That says everything for her. You suck. If you let a dropout have more common sense and logic than you, then you suck, lady. You really do. You suck. At the end of the day, because if you see his conversation with her and then you go to and get his conversation with Boosie, it's a whole different type of conversation. Because Boosie let him have it.
Okay.
So it's right.
A pause in there somewhere? Is there a
pause? Yeah, pause for real. Pause for real. You know, if Black Man was here, it'd be like pause.
Like we pause every second.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this. Man, this shit. I hate that I'm getting older. Because it don't look good. Like, we just call it out. And this is the thing. My mama always told me. She said, the older you get, the more honest you're gonna be. And it's gonna be so bad with people. You ever seen old people that just say shit? They say shit worse than damn a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old. Old people go right back to being 3 years old again. That's what happens. 3-year-olds are, you know how they are. A 3-year-old be like, why you so fat? Ooh, your breath stink.
What is so fat?
An 83-year-old does the same thing. Baby, listen, you gotta start brushing with with peroxide.
I gave one time. I went to college, came back and said, what's your girlfriend? She said she gave me that like smile. She said, you ain't like one of those kind of guys.
Right.
What are you talking about?
You ain't.
Yeah. I said, coming from my grandma, I couldn't believe she was asking me that question.
Yes.
I said, no, you have to worry about that one. Man, that was funny. It came out of nowhere.
Right. That's crazy. But that's the thing. Man, we get older. I'm telling you. People
was my pants up or I said
I thought the old people were just crazy when they was talking. No. They're 100% honest. And we all if God give us the will to get old as we possibly can, we're going to be the same way. We're going to be talking things. We're going to be looking at, because we done seen this world change.
What else about what she said, though, JT? Just while we're here, what else do you think what do you think she's trying to prove, man? What do you think she's trying to get at? What is she saying?
I think that
she said she got go ahead.
No, I think that she doesn't have. I think her whole thing is all about her. It's not about making people better. It's not about community. I think it's about her trying to get people to speak these buzzwords that she's trying to make known. Like one of the things that she talks about is this whole thing about being what's the thing? What'd you say?
Low functioning, high functioning.
Low functioning, high functioning, all these different things. She got that from a book, from other people that wrote books. And basically what they're talking about is people that are on the spectrum. If you understand what she's saying, these are books that has these are mental health books that are talking, especially with the low functioning. If you know anything about people that has Asperger's or they're on the spectrum, you know, things like that, it talks a lot about where they're at, the level that they're at of understanding and the functionality of them.
Either Rain Man or Idiot Savant, whatever, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so she's trying to make this a hybrid of relationships. That's crazy to me. And so basically, I think that this is a personal thing. This is not I want to make the world better type of thing. No, she's trying to do this whole thing on, I need to get notoriety. I want to be the authority of the things that I talk about. And it's not working for her.
She's getting more desperate, though, because the age is catching up with her.
Yes.
I think she's realizing that. She don't know how to go about it, you know?
And that was, you know, what came out of her mouth. You know, I'm 42. My libido is like, you know, are you giving him access because you horny? Or are you giving him access because he gave you access to
his phone?
And his phone? Like,
she ain't giving him access.
Why? You know, what's the real reason that you want? I mean, if you just horny, just say that. Like, you know what I mean? If you just want to have sex with the man at this point, and then it's like, why everybody got to know about your bedroom?
Come on now.
Why do we as the public need to know that you like why do we need to know that? Why do we need to know that you're going to grant him this special magical access? Like, why do we need to know that? You know, why does that have to be the topic of the conversation? Who are you trying to prove what to? Who cares that you've been celibate for a year? Who cares if it's not a choice? And you know, that's why I wanted to play that, because you as a professional, you're a professional, and then you want to put your bedroom in the street. That's crazy to me. That is just crazy. You 42, but you're 2. Like, you know,
yeah.
Like who talk? It's almost like you're, you know,
not a professional.
The same way she outed Offset and say, "Oh, he slid him." Like, keep your mouth closed.
She's not a professional.
He could probably
business to yourself.
Yeah.
You just like all these teeny boppers out here going to the internet, crying their eyes out, or telling the world their story, or like, oh, I'm about to go to the candy store today, and I'm like, that's what it's just like, why put your business in the street like that? Why? As a grown woman, why would you do that?
As a grown,
she's seen it work for other people, and specifically men. And that's why she looks crazy when she's talking.
I don't even know if that works for men.
No, what I'm saying is that you got your Derek Jacksons, and I never can remember the other dude's name.
Ace Metaphor you're talking about.
Ace Metaphor. So her whole thing is that if she can get to that level, then she's going to be fine. because there's nothing. This guy that she keeps talking about, she had in this conversation with, that she done talked to 2 people about this, probably more than that, about this imaginary dude that she's talking about. Can I have access to you? Can I have access? Because I'll give you access.
AT, she says he gave her the phone. He gave her the keys to the house. And didn't she say that in past tense?
Yeah.
So he lived up to his part of the bargain. He still didn't get no cooking.
And he still didn't get none?
Right.
Yeah,
she's a liar. She's a liar.
But she's lying though.
She's lying.
But she's lying though. Listen.
Yep, she's lying.
When she spoke about Offset, right? Because she's coming out as a doctor. Man, you know how much trouble you can get into if you reveal some client, patient, doctor information, man. If I'm the profession I go in talking about, we just saw it play out a year and a half ago when the lady was talking about how black man that she was treating and serving. How we did. But that's similar. You cannot do that on a professional level. You will lose your license in every state.
That's
in every state.
Women talk long enough, they'll tell on themselves.
So this is the thing. This is what's crazy about this whole thing of her being a doctor. You could look up the college that she so-called got her PhD, which is a philosophy degree. Now understand, we already understand that doctors that mean something, guess what they got to take? The same thing that a nurse got to take, a state test. There's a number that you get, MPI number, or what's the other number that they have for the professionals, the doctors and the CPs. But these numbers you got about 3 numbers that you get. An MPI number is for your business. And then there's another number that you get as a certified doctor. And then it tells what your specialties are, or what you can do. She can't do nothing. All she ended up doing was getting a PhD from, now watch this, a college that doesn't exist anymore. How about that? The college was out here and it was scamming a bunch of these folks that was out there. The college does not even exist. All you got to do is just Google. What college did she graduate from? Then you Google that college, and then you're going to find out what I'm talking about. That woman is not, she can't do anything when it comes down to patient, physician-patient confidentiality and all that, because she's not certified in none of that. All she have is a piece of paper that says that she has a philosophy degree in it. She ain't got no certifications. She don't got no doggone. She has nothing to follow that. Even a nurse has to have a certification.
Yeah, she's just taking her pretty privilege and she's abusing her pretty privilege, and that's
there you go. That's it right there. That's all it is.
That's why it was easy for her to tell Offset's business.
Yes, because she can't get right. She's not. There was nothing they go, because she's not in the business like that. Yeah, that's the craziest part.
Call her, take her medical license.
Nah,
not at all. First of all, the university that she went to closed down in 2019. And it was a for-profit university. So come on, man. I'm a doctor. I went to Mississippi State. I can be a doctor, can I?
Thank you, Coach Ferg. I'm glad you did your due diligence. That's why I didn't want to put the bullshit out on her, but that's what it is. That college doesn't even exist anymore, and they had a lot of problems. The more you dig and you go down that doggone, that rabbit hole, you're going to find out a whole lot of other things that comes down with that. The thing is this. I don't know that woman, and I'm not one of those dudes that's out here trying to whatever she got going on, get your money, boo, or whatever. But I'm going to tell you this. She is not what she presents herself to be. Please believe that. The reason why she got this little fire coming with her right now is because she is on a network that has a reality show. This is what it was all about. The reality show that they have, it hasn't even come out yet. And she's supposed to be That's what she was supposed to be promoting. Was the reality show.
Okay. Oh, so
she messed around and promoted herself to the degree where you don't even know what reality show it is that she's supposed to be on.
She was on a reality. She was on like Love and Hip Hop or one of those.
Yeah, this but the
one not Love and Hip Hop. Maybe the house. Maybe not.
Yeah, Mona. That lady is it Mona D. But this is supposed to be something that was a spinoff from that hasn't come out yet.
Sorry.
Yeah, because I did see a clip of her fighting somebody and one.
Oh, was that true? Did we have any comments that came back? With any comments come out? Did we catch any comments from the chat? Not the chat, but the comment section of that podcast that she was on? Be interesting. I mean, maybe
it'd be very interesting. We got to start reading those things too. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of, I mean, I believe it was kind of like 50-50. So you had women who were saying, yeah, girl, like, I couldn't have said it any better myself and all that stuff. Then you had people that were like, what is she talking about? She's not a doctor. She's a liar. All the things that you guys are saying, those were, those comments were in the comments. They were.
Okay.
So, as she continues to go on different shows and things of that nature, she just reveals more of herself. And a lot of people are looking at her now like, what's really going on with you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who are you really? So I just wanted to highlight these videos because, like I said earlier, where you are who your parents put inside of you.
Yeah,
and it is not until you change that trajectory, you change those generational curses. It's not until you change your mind and get a different mentality, and you can just start walking in a different way. You can, attract better things in your life. You don't have to have the same mentality. Like her mentality is, if you ain't going to do it my way, there isn't going to be a way. Mm-hmm. Right? If you're not going to adhere to what I'm asking, then we just not going to have a way. And my thing is, it's okay to walk away from things that you don't see meshing well in your life, but to talk to them in the degree that she has talked about them, about needing, access codes and needing passwords and things of that nature, it should never go, that far. If the man, if a man is not going to be transparent with you, he's not going to be transparent with you. But it don't take codes and passwords and keys for that to be the reality of him not being transparent with you. If you're really in tune with yourself and you're really in tune with the higher power, then you'll know when a man is not saying certain words and when he's saying other words in place of other words. You'll just know that by studying him and knowing him. And so then you can make your decision. But you shouldn't make your decision based off of if he's not going to give you access to his privacy, because you're not entitled to that. The only time you're entitled to it is when you become one with him. And then, even then, there shouldn't be I need your phone, give me your phone, I want to look through your phone. It should know, in a case of emergency, at least I know how to get in there to call your family members. Or if I want to surprise you, I know how to, email so-and-so and, get that information. So you don't necessarily have to know about it. And even surprises, some men don't even like surprises. Don't surprise me. Like, you know what I mean? So it takes a lot. It takes, she used that Bible verse, you're supposed to have knowledge of your person. Yes, you are supposed to grow with your person in knowledge. But again, that doesn't mean I need all this information from you up front to know if you're the person that I need to be with. No, God is just going to reveal those things to you. He's not asking you to control the person that you're with. He's not asking you to even sit in the seat of control. He got it. And that's how you know that people don't really trust God the way that they say that they do. You know that the things that she's saying and the verses and stuff that she's... No, if you're going to trust God, trust him fully. What you need a password for? What I need your keys for? No. If you're really going to trust him. But a lot of people don't really trust him the way that they think that they do. And so they'll come on podcasts and they'll come on platforms and they'll even create a whole name for themselves and call themselves a doctor so that you can trust them more than they trust what they're preaching and what they're preaching. So I did want to have a show on this because at the end of the day, like I always say, be real with yourself so you could be real with others, right? Yeah. And at the end of the day, I don't think that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant or Cheyenne Bryant. I'm not going to call her a doctor until I see the pictures. So I keep saying that. But I don't think that she's truly being real with herself. Like I would like to see her sit down with a Iyanla Vanzant or something.
Ooh, that would be dope.
I would love to see that conversation and how it plays out. Because you know, you when I realized that when she was talking to Jamal Bryant and other people that she sat down and talked with, when they hit a pain point, she would say, "Oh, I love that question. I love that you asked me that," right?
Yep.
She would flip it and she would turn whatever emotions that she feel were stirring up inside of her, and she would flip it and then she would explain word salad of why she was doing what she was doing or said what she said. And she would cut people off. She would, at one point he was trying to ask her different questions and trying to get to certain, resolutions, and she would cut them off. And somebody like Yvonne, excuse me, how do her name? Iyanla Vanzant, yes. Someone like her would not let that occur.
At all.
She would stop her. She would make her deal with what is happening. She would hold her accountable. So, I would love a conversation like that to take place. And someone like Cheyenne Bryant, when it comes to the clashing of the male versus female, and which it shouldn't be because we need each other, so we should be working together. But Absolutely. She is someone that would keep women on one side and keep the man on the other side, because she's only thinking about herself. She's only being selfish, and that's no way. You can't join with a man being selfish. You just you just can't. I remember seeing in one interview, someone said, "Oh, well, would you keep a man?" She's like, "Oh no, I'm not keeping a man. He can keep me, but I'm not keeping a man." Right? And so that tells me you have no intention on truly putting in the work that you talk about to be with him. Because any man, when you think of being kept, most people think of the man keeping the woman, right? Well, they keep men, they just keep them in a different way that men keep women. Men provide that security. The men provide the protection, and they supply for the house and things of that nature. But a woman keeps a man in a totally different way than a man keeps a woman.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that she wants to keep a man in that way. And in that way is being selfless. And I don't think she wants to be selfless. She says that she's in a time of her life where she's doing the choosing. And so keeping a man and really, catering to his needs is not something that she's willing to do unless she gets all this access that she's asking for. And so I played it so women realize that's not the way to go. That's not the way to go. When you come in saying, "Oh, well, I'm going to need this and I'm going to need that." No, there's a way that you communicate your standards without trying to strip a man of the things that he holds close to him and barely knows you. You just don't come in asking for those things. Her childhood also played a role in it. Her childhood, again, her mother got strung out on the drugs that her father was selling.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so that's what she saw growing up. She didn't want the guy that was at the library. She didn't want the guy that was studying to better himself.
Right.
You can't tell me those are the guys that she wanted.
Yeah.
She said she wasn't brought up to look for a man or she wasn't brought up to be a gold digger. No, those are the men who had money were the men you naturally were drawn to because that was your dad. If they ain't have money, you wasn't even trying to talk to them.
Yeah.
You weren't even trying to talk to them. And at some point, yes, she went to school, she did something with her life, but at the end of the day, she still has the mentality of that street girl. I believe she turned into her father. She turned into the man who was raising her. She really did.
Yeah. Yeah, see, it's crazy where when you look at the state that we're in right now, that people will sit back and put this woman up on a platform as if she's the authority of anything. It's wild to me. That's why when I looked at the interview that she did with what's the quarterback name? Cam Newton. And I seen how he dealt with her. I was like, what?
Did he deal with her?
They were all weird. Even with Nick Cannon, weird. They're weirdos when it comes down to these type of women. And it's just weird to me to see that men drop the ball. You got the opportunity right now. And this is the thing. You don't have to be a man you don't have to be barbaric, right? Because I think we are smart enough where we can have these conversations, man, where we can expose a lot of things through conversation. And I think that Cam Newton, and what I thought that Cam Newton at the time was at least intelligent enough where he can have the conversation where it would expose the things by having a conversation.
Because you could have been intelligent, but he's not a good what you call it, moderator.
He's not a good moderator.
Not a good interviewer like that. He's got to learn that craft. But let me tell you, when she's gonna not be popular when she stops giving views. I think people put her on the podcast because they get a certain amount of views for her being there.
Yeah.
And once those numbers go down enough where the juice ain't worth the squeeze, she's gonna stop getting invited.
Yeah,
I think that's what's gonna happen, and I don't know when that's gonna happen.
Because they're relying on that the clicks and views, right? That's they're relying on it. It's not anything what these guys are doing where people are going to refer to it 10, 15 years later. It's not. It's just going to be they're going to have to clip that shit out. That's what I was saying. Let me end with this. So what you were showing, Precious, that video that you showed with her being on the panel, Jeff Brown was on there, whatever. Let me tell you something. If you go on there and you start looking at those shows, man, them shows are some dope shows. Because the things that we're talking about right now, they were already talking about them 11 years ago, right? Like the biggest, I guess that's where it's weird to me. That's why when you guys hear Jeff and he comes and you know how he do, and he gets frustrated, it's because he was privy to be on those panels 10, 11, 12 years ago that were already talking about the things that are brought up now, right? It wasn't popular then. So it gets to a point where people, I can get frustrated too myself, but I understand this is what we need to still talk about. This is, unfortunately, this is the thing. I'm a military guy. So one of the things that we deal with is redundancy. Every day, all day, the same thing, over and over and over again. I understand what the purpose of redundancy is. That's what it's going to be in there. It's going to be like second nature to you, right? This is what redundancy is. So the thing is this, and I'm going to end this right here. Man, this was a good show. This was a great show. This is a great show, man. I normally our pain. I'm just, you catch me once in a while where I'll just be talking, man. But sometimes I just be so fucking quiet. Where I guess is this what they call anointment or something like that, where you just It's like a joy that you get where you just like, damn, this shit spoke to me tonight. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end it like this. Great show. This is a great show. I'm gonna watch it again tomorrow. Forget it. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
Coach Ferg, final thoughts.
I mean, always interesting topics, always good conversation, and I like to hear different perspectives. I'm just an old ugly dude, just trying to get my perspective on what I've seen throughout my life and seen the changes. And I do make reference to my favorite generation often, but I can also, when I look at brothers like R-Pain and JT and us older guys, we had a time when we were younger where we could at least have some form of unity within our neighborhoods. There was some form of collaboration with the young guys. We talked each other off these ledges, and we tried to give each other our best insight. Whether we knew it or not, we sort of spoke in a way, well, from what I remember. It may not have been everywhere, some people, but, we didn't let our guys crash out over the girl who was driving them up a wall. We tried to give them some sense about it. Today it's a lot different. Guys are, and I can say, guys accepted things from a woman. Most guys will accept certain things from a woman. The one thing guys really couldn't stand is the fact that their woman is sleeping with another man. Mm-hmm. If a guy declared a woman his woman, the one thing that will get him to crash out is if she's sleeping with another man. But today, they're more accepting of it. They're going to sort of allow her to do her thing, put a strap on, and maybe give him a little bit, which is scary though. I mean, and it's unfortunate, like sisters like, Cheyenne Bryant, she could be in a really good position to change the dynamic of young women and how to move forward. But she's in that age group where she's had to fail relationships, and she's, and you ain't going no year with a man talking about you holding out. You are using that man for everything that he's had. But I'm gonna shut up with this, man. I don't know shit. I just know I ain't going back out there on that dating pool. Y'all can have that old dusty, musty, I ain't taking a bath. Ain't nobody ain't shit life. Y'all can have it. Don't bring your ass over here because my German Shepherd bites. I don't want none of that shit. If my wife was to leave me today, I'll be okay. I'm gonna walk around with $40 a day in my pocket. If you want some, you know what you gotta do for that 40. 60 in the back. But
60 in the back. Nah.
I don't know, man. It's just, it's just unfortunate that we're supposed to be the smartest, but we're moving like the dumbest. And our future will probably be at zero. Our wealth will probably be at zero in the next 25 years. So I don't know what to say.
Well, thank you so much, Coach Ferg. I appreciate you. R-Pain, final thought?
Yeah, man. I don't know. Listen, one of the things just being up here is just a reflection of things. I mean, even the relationship with my wife, going back over the years, I'm thinking about some of the decisions I made or some of the way I am. Some of the things I wish I would have done, not out of regret. I wish I would have figured some shit out earlier, than I have now, right? I mean, and still, it never really changed. Even with my wife and how we solve problems now has evolved, right? Because when I used to tell her I need you to do this, that, and the other thing, I used to forget one part. The part was, I need you to do this and that, but here's how you could do it. Here's some suggestions on how we could move to the next level. Here's where, and I just had a recent example of that. I said, just telling her to do something is not enough, but here's some possible solutions to that too, so she didn't have to figure it out. Yeah. And if my recommendation was good enough, then I got what I needed, right? And sometimes I forgot. I always knew that when I worked. When people used to work, don't just give me your problems. Tell me how you think you're gonna fix it. Shit, man, that shit would work. It works everywhere. So I mean, you start to think. So my reflection, I reflect on a lot of stuff, And the one thing that's really salacious, and that short 7, and this is a different topic, but the short 7, maybe 8 years that from 17 to 26, when I was exploring the Royal Oats, man, I have more. Listen, not because it was 100 million different girls. I had so many different types of relationships that everything I hear is like nothing new under the sun. The baby mamas, I had a couple of them. I lived with a girl before. All this kind of stuff. You know, my first experience was a good one, which I think was a great thing for me, right? Because it was good, right? So I didn't have no negative feelings about even getting broken into the situation of having sex. The girl who was a little older. So I learned stuff, and when we said that, you know, the hate banging, I really never hate banged a chick. Right? I never really did that. I gotta say, I never really did that. I know I had one where we teased each other, and then somehow fate had it, and things went on, and it was beautiful. But I liked all the girlfriends, all the girls I had sex with. I liked. I did, and I think that's weird, right? But I think that's weird. I mean, it's weird from the standpoint I took a little bit out of all of that kind of stuff. If my wife told me, hey, husband, all the men I had sex with, I learned something, I wouldn't take it the same way. I wouldn't take it the same way. You know what I'm saying?
You live and learn. I mean,
so I said, anyway, but the bottom line is, this is a good show. I mean, they just help you reflect. When we talk about it with fellas everybody has their own point of view. Sometimes we disagree. You know, Frank came out and said, yeah, I understand where Frank was, right? The kind of stuff he did in the neighborhood, you know, maybe with the drugs and all that kind of stuff. I was around those guys. Some of my best friends were doing that. I avoided that. I avoided that one way or the other. And it was not because I was smarter. I went to Catholic school. Yeah. Everybody else, all my boys went to public school. I went from the first grade to 12. They were changing stuff. They were skipping school. I never did any of it. We hung out, but you know, when they got into the dumb shit, I was gone.
Yep.
You know, and we were in the same neighborhood, you know, but still, you know, so I feel like I dodged a bullet that way.
Yeah.
Probably because I was chicken shit, maybe. You know, that might have something to do with it too. You had good people in your family too.
And you were smart.
There's a healthy fear too. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a healthy fear that turns into a respect level for your authority that's over you. So,
well, in danger. They used to go to the train yard at night in New York City to just paint on the damn, the graffiti, that era, right? I mean, the train yard, the third rail and all that shit. Out there painting around the third rail. I said, I'm not doing that.
That's dangerous as hell, man.
Dangerous like a motherfucker. I'm not doing that. You know, anyway, so I'm just kind of rambling, but these with my channel and all this stuff, we get a chance to talk about, put what you're thinking out there. Yeah. And you're not a broadcaster, you're not a professional at it and all that kind of stuff, but you get a chance to have a voice. And you get one or two people who actually want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
You know, and whether they agree or disagree, it's really something different, you know. So it's good, man. Just my retirement age is when you have to find something to do. This is not a bad thing to do. It's not. Now I got to figure out how to get monetized.
All right, let's work on it, bro. Let's get you monetized. Ain't as hard
anyway,
as you think.
So I'm done.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
Thank you, Precious, for letting me up. You know, so I was looking forward to tonight. I was glad it's tonight instead of tomorrow.
Yeah.
I needed my fix. I needed my Precious fix.
Great show, man. Great show.
Frank, final thought.
I'm not gonna be long because I'm tired as hell. But great show as usual. for everybody who was tapped in and tuned in, man, definitely hope that y'all got something out of it, because I always do, man. Whether it's on Wednesday or whether it's on Thursday, pretty privilege does exist, fellas. We just have to like get to the, when you want to get to the root cause of something, like, you know what I'm saying? Yes, like that woman is around because she looks good, and she has and she can bring up those sexual things in conversation, because it's gonna make a lot of men out there wonder what it is. And oh man, she look good. Look at those. Look at this, and that, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just gonna send people to her channel, to whatever she own, or looking her up online just to see what her body look like in person. That's it. And then, after that, man, listen, man, just character type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Moral compass, integrity, things like that. Those are all things that also make up your character. It's a lot of shit that we can do. It's a lot of pastors that was, drug dealers in the past. Yes, like they're good people now. They was not when they were doing it. Just like I was not when I was doing it. There is some, so there is a lot of duality in everything we do. That's why the saying that two things can be right, two things can be true at the same time exist. And so, like, we just gotta, definitely be cautious and shit like that about what we say sometimes. But other than that, I'm good to go. You know what I'm saying? Love y'all, man. Great panel. If you like the vibe over here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe over here. You know what I'm saying? Because we gonna help Miss Precious grow as much as we possibly can, and we just here along the ride, man. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you guys again. And y'all know what I say all the time. Be real with yourself so you can be real with others. All right, guys. Now we know StreamYard. Look. All right, y'all.
Peace.